All right, we're back, and we're going to have some people joining in as we get this restarted. We've been live for about 3 hours talking about this, and you've been going on TV giving people updates.
You're amazing. This is the machine on Facebook Live right now. Continuous coverage, so great job, and thank you for what you're doing. I mean, this line is very impressive.
Yeah.
It's already produced what I'm calling probably the shortest lived tornado warning, and we're grateful. It was north of La Pryor, and it looked like it was going to impact Uvalde. Either way, Uvalde is getting clobbered right now and under a severe thunderstorm warning that's extending east towards Hondo. In fact, let's take a closer look at what we're talking about, and you can see a number, 1, 2, 3, 4 active severe thunderstorm warnings along this line. What's interesting is watch these cells. This is why I like backing it up for this 3-hour loop. You can see the individual thunderstorms that start up out ahead of the line merge and converge with that line. And where that happened, near Uvalde and really just around La Pryor, was where we had that tornado warning. So it's kind of that convergence spot, and you can see it northwest of San Antonio, right there on top of Bandera. That's where the next little convergence occurred. And you can also see a smaller warning northeast Kendall County. So just off to the east of Comfort, that's a severe thunderstorm, and that's moving north. So we've got two things happening here. The line pushing in from the west, and then some of these individual cells that erupted out ahead of the line moving to the north. So sometimes inside that line, there might be a storm or two that are moving north, but everything's going to get caught up in this line and push into the city by 10 p.m. for sure.
Yeah, so these storms just continue to kind of move off towards the east, and they're moving east at about 40 miles per hour, so they've been continuing with a pretty good pace here.
Yeah, that's a good thing in the sense that with these kind of rainfall rates, if they're not moving quickly, flooding can occur in a hurry. And as this line moves into San Antonio, as this atmosphere and these storm lines, they typically behave the same way. When it comes into San Antonio, it will slow down. So that 40 mile per hour pace might come down to about 30 miles, maybe 35 miles per hour as it impacts Bexar County. So let's get in for a closer look on some of these down here into the San Antonio Metro, and you'll see some of these warning polygons in and around the city. So for the most part, they're just now clipping into northwest Bexar County. You see that one active warning right there that moves into the Fair Oaks area, extreme northwest Bexar County. And this cell is moving east. See, it's already slowing down at 20 miles per hour. That's the one that's right over Bandera and heading towards northwest Bexar County and Fair Oaks Ranch. Winds are about 60 miles per hour, and we've been estimating hail size at about nickel in diameter for the most part. We have not seen monster hailstones like baseball or anything that's too concerning right now. Not to say it can't happen. I mean, with this amount of lightning, and that has been the most impressive lightning display I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that's a ton of lightning.
I mean, that is really dangerous. I mean, that means that this storm area is producing tremendous updraft.
Yeah, and Bill, I'm going to let you hold on to this real quick. My phone has just died after we've been live for 3 hours while I've been giving updates. I'm going to go snag a charger real quick. I'll be right back.
Brother. And yeah, then we can take a look at some of your comments, because as we get closer to the 10 p.m. show, Andrew's going to stay here live on Facebook as I take care of things on Ken's 5 Air. But again, you can see that this line moving east at about 20 to 30 miles per hour is going to definitely be impacting San Antonio down through Atascosa County all at about the same time. I would say by about 10 p.m. Now, we do have a crew that was heading down Highway 90. We're having full team coverage coming up in 15 minutes on Eyewitness News at 10, and that crew is going to be under the gun of this severe weather that's pounding areas of Uvalde as well as Zavala counties right now. Crystal City, La Pryor, and no longer do we have that tornado warning. We just have these severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect for the next several minutes. Let's take a look at this one. Till 10 p.m. on that warning, the warning that's up around including Bexar County. You can see that the polygon just gets into Bexar County. That's in effect until 10:30. And I should mention too right now that the entire area is under severe thunderstorm watch until 4 a.m. and that does include San Antonio and areas east through Gonzales until, again, 4 a.m. All of South Central Texas under a severe thunderstorm watch. But the two most active warnings that are coming into the city in effect until 10 and 10:30. We're getting winds recorded right now at about 60 miles per hour, and this line is slowing down. As I mentioned, it's now going at about 20 miles per hour up around Bandera. So as that slows down, we're going to see some localized flooding concerns because the rainfall rates are pushing 3 inches per hour in most cases. Now, with this kind of wind speeds of 60 miles an hour, you can expect some of the roof damage, siding damage, any kind of things like that could be airborne in some communities like Bernie, Bandera, Walnut Grove, Lake Hills, Bandera Falls, Pipe Creek, all going to be impacted here over the next few minutes.
Yeah, and speaking of the next few minutes, you know, in the next less than 15 minutes, we start KENS 5 at 10. Bill, you were saying we're going to have some interesting things in the show regarding some of the weather.
Yeah, we've got a crew in Hondo. So
yeah?
That's what I'm a little concerned with. I don't know if they'll make it all the way to Hondo, but that was the destination, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And they were going down Highway 90. Now, you know, if they're on a backpack, of course, we're going to be safe to go live with this kind of lightning. There's not going to be any mast in the air because they cannot put a mast up when you have this kind of lightning. But, boy, you talk about Friday Night Lights, huh?
Yeah, for real.
I mean, look at
this. And this is the part of the storm that could be heading towards San Antonio. So we're going to get a look at this during the 10 o'clock newscast on the storm that is heading towards parts of San Antonio. Be sure to tune in at KENS 5 at 10 p.m. We're not hopping off here. Don't worry. We're staying on as long as there's a severe warning on this screen. But you can watch this on our digital channels and also watch the updates on KENS 5 at 10. Be sure to tune into that. That's the CBS affiliate, of course, right here in San Antonio.
So now I was preaching about always keeping your phone charged, right? Mm-hmm. And then yours just passed out, but now we're recharging. So
yeah.
Do that now. If you're in San Antonio, plug your phones in. Because with this kind of lightning heading in, there's going to be a widespread power outages in the city. Because that is always the case with this much of an electrical storm heading in. You know, you're safe on a cell phone as far as using it in a lightning storm. But with this tremendous amount of lightning, I'm going to assume that power is going to be a widespread problem through the city as these storms move in. Because it's also wind. You know, we mentioned not seeing those large, huge hailstones, but we've definitely seen wind speeds between 55 and 65 miles per hour, not to mention the lightning, and the small to moderate size hail. The largest hail size we've seen is about 1 inch in diameter, and that's all we're estimating right now, even in this line. If I take the lightning off, turn the hail tracker on, and notice we'll stop this in live motion so that we get a now image. Boy, we're really not looking at too much in the form of very large hail. It's going to be down here near Crystal City. Oh, that's going to give me the warning. Let's take a look. Try to get right. Still going to give me the warning.
And I see some questions coming in while you're working on that, Bill. Some people are mentioning wind speed in Hondo, question mark. You know, maybe up to 60 mile per hour sustained winds or gusts rather. I see some people mentioning that there's some lightning out towards UTSA, probably seeing a lot of lightning in the air just off to your northwest.
It's just getting started.
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing it in the northwest sky, but it's going to be on top of UTSA here in the next 20 minutes. So walnut size, that's about the size near Crystal City, heading out towards Frio County right now, this whole line moving east, and there's the hail core. I'll put that below the warning right now once again so you have those warning polygons. All right, I'm going to go get on KENS 5 television and do my thing, and I will see you soon, my brother.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Bill. And yeah, someone had mentioned that the mic levels weren't on the same volume. Jenny, yeah, I just noticed that I think one of our mics may have been louder than the other. We'll try to make sure that those more on the same level in the future. Sorry about that, guys. Again, we're working around a few technical difficulties. We haven't had multiple people in-house in a while. That's pretty rare right now because we are also practicing social distancing here at KENS 5. This is my first time in the station in more than a month because we've been also trying to practice what we preach. Now, with all that being said, this is a unique situation where we have a lot of strong to severe storms out there. So even though I've been practicing social distancing outside of the station, it is required that sometimes we have more people in to the studio to keep everyone safe and informed when this kind of stuff happens. So again, we do have the severe thunderstorm warning stretching maybe even over towards Hondo now. It doesn't look like you're exactly within that warning polygon just yet, but I'm willing to bet it gets extended into your area very soon. We have a ton of lightning northwest of San Antonio right now. I'm actually going to bring up our 3 box here. Let me see what we have in our third box. Give me 1 second, guys. Because, you know, we have a ton of lightning that's out there right now, and I'm actually going to bring that up now. So let me see if we got a lot of noise from it. I don't think we have too much noise coming out of that third. Give me 1 second, guys. So I'm going to step off camera real quick just in case we have a lot of noise, and we don't. I was making sure the audio was off on that shot. That way y'all didn't just hear the loud rain in your ears. But again, there you see some of the heavy rain that's already falling in parts of South Texas. We have severe thunderstorm warnings right now stretching into Bandera, Kerr County, into Kendall County, and it looks like they have trimmed Bexar County out of that one warning. But I am willing to put money on it that we could have another severe thunderstorm warning issued later on tonight that is going to include Bexar County. I want to look at some of the lightning counts because, guys, we have an amazing amount of lightning. 1,497 lightning strikes. That was a big area, but honestly, guys, I'm gonna look at a huge area. Hold up, real quick. I bet I could find 2,000 lightning strikes within our viewing area right now. 2,266 lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes within the KENS 5 viewing area. We've got even more than that, actually. Because if we were to look further on off towards the north and include the rest of Kerr County and into Gillespie County, we have more than 2,000 lightning strikes in 15 minutes. That is a lot of lightning strikes. Now, it's a big area, but man, these are electric storms that are moving through. I see, why do y'all stop it right before San Antonio? The answer is this is actually a live look at the radar. So this is exactly what we're seeing right now. This is where the rain actually is. I mean, we're getting close, though. So let's go ahead and put a timeline on these storms for San Antonio. They're close enough now that we know that we can see that within the next hour or so, these storms should arrive. So let's go ahead and drop it right here. All right, New Braunfels. This storm will approach your area by 11 o'clock. For San Antonio, we're talking 10:54 within the hour. That's downtown, by the way. Downtown San Antonio by 11 o'clock. Helotes, you could be having these storms by about 10:23. Hondo, it's on your doorstep at 9:58. Right now it is 9:55, so within the next 3 minutes you're likely to already have a lot of lightning, probably a lot of rain, and you also probably have a lot of gusty winds to go along with it. Will it come up north side? The answer is yes. We are going to have heavy rain move through the entire city. It is going to be a 100% chance for rain at 11 o'clock. I can guarantee it. Just looking at it now, I can tell you that San Antonio is going to have heavy rain at 11 o'clock. Maybe a little bit 5 minutes after that for some areas, but we are going to have the heavy rain move through. You already see it on the camera shot there just below me. You'll notice that there's a lot of heavy rain that's moving through. We're actually getting ready for a live shot. And guys, I actually have to edit this real quick. They're going to be taking this in just a moment. They're going to be taking a shot of the radar on the newscast. Again, KENS 5, CBS. We have the newscast that's going to air here in just a moment. That's actually a shot from a crew that is out live right now, getting ready for the 10 o'clock show. We have multiple crews out right now trying to gather information. We have multiple severe warnings out, and that's why we have so much going on. Weather Chief Bill Taylor is about to be on for the 10 o'clock newscast. That begins in 4 minutes. So I hope you can tune in to KENS 5 on CBS. We're not getting off right here. We're staying on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on the app, and we're on the website. Remember, download the app. Now, at the top of the show, right when it begins, that's when we're going to have a lot of updates on the storms. We're going to have them updating throughout the 10 o'clock newscast. Of course, main weather, our main weather hit, where Bill goes in depth on the forecast and the extended forecast. That's going to be right at about, closer towards the middle of the newscast. So you'll want to hang around for that. But, we're going to talk more about what's happening right now at the beginning of the newscast. I saw the rundown. Weather Chief Bill Taylor was in here just a moment ago talking about it, giving people updates. So, how bad is it going to be in Schertz? The answer is it could be strong to severe storms. Do you really? Let's see here. Nixon, asking about Nixon. The answer is yes, strong storms will continue towards your area. We expect this line of storms to hold together really all throughout South Texas. Now, it may not be severe criteria all the way through South Texas, but it will at least be very strong storms at the least. So we don't expect these to weaken as they continue to pass through the region, at least by much. You see that huge severe thunderstorm warning polygon that now includes portions of San Antonio, excuse me, within the 410 loop. That's that blue circle around San Antonio there. So we still have the severe thunderstorm warning for Frio and Medina County. That's until 11 p.m. That also includes Bexar County. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in Kendall County. That includes really the edges of Bernie. And that's going to be until, I believe that's until about 10:15, 10:30, last I checked on it. And guys, while we're talking about this, let me bump it back to the National Weather Service. Let me see what they're saying. They're watching rotation tighten up in northern Kendall County, where a merging of two storms is occurring. So I'm going to watch that myself from behind the scenes. Again, we're going to hold it on their shot showing the showers and storms real quick, because they're actually going to use this in the newscast on KENS 5 in just a moment. But after they're done using that, we're going to take a closer look at that possibility of rotation. That was reported to them just a couple minutes ago. So I see that they've closed some of the low water crossings in southwest Austin. So that's not necessarily here in San Antonio, but they are already having some issues with some of the low water crossings closing in Austin. That's not out of the normal. That's actually pretty typical for them. They'll close a lot of these low water crossings up towards their region. But, again, that just goes to show heavy rainfall moving through. That just what we've been talking about. That heavy rainfall all at once could cause some localized flooding in different areas. Hondo, you continue to be under severe thunderstorm warning. The storms are right on your doorstep right now, moving into Hondo. Uvalde, the strongest part of the storms are through. You likely still have rain. You likely still have lightning, but it is not as strong as what it was before. Seeing how strong to Crystal City. The answer is still some pretty strong winds moving in to your area. But it's you could also have some hail. You could also have maybe up to even golf ball size hail. Let me see what else some people may be saying on here. Viewing from Huntsville. Welcome, Ashley. Hope you're doing good. JR says hurricane force. I mean, some of these winds could be pretty strong. So just a heads up on that. How is San Marcos, Texas tonight? The answer is they're going to get some storms here pretty soon. They had a lot of storms west of San Marcos. You're going to see stronger storms in the San Marcos area probably within the next, I would say, hour to hour and a half. Let's see here. Liz says that's not good at all. Yeah, there are some stronger storms that are moving through. The Helotes area. Helotes could see some storms within the next about 30 minutes. What's New Braunfels looking like? We're thinking the storms could arrive on your doorstep probably within about the next 30 minutes to the next hour, I would say. You see the storms are already moving into very northwestern corner of Bexar County, right now, Ken's 5 News just started, by the way. Weather Chief Bill Taylor talking about these storms on the newscast. Be sure to tune into that. You can watch on here, though, as well. He's talking about some of these severe thunderstorm warnings that we currently have moving through the region. Hondo right now really being impacted by these. That's where the strongest of the storms, I think, is really moving through. And guys, man, that is just a ton of lightning that we're experiencing. Again, when thunder roars, go indoors. We don't want anybody putting themselves in a dangerous situation. So stay inside as long as these stronger storms move through. I see a lot of questions about different towns. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and put the timeline on here again because I want to make sure everyone knows. First, we're going to cover these more southerly storms. So, Pearsall, we've had a lot of questions about there. 10:23 p.m. Cotulla, 10:40 p.m. Poteet, 11:02 p.m. Pleasanton, the storms arrive for you. We're talking about 11:15. So, more than an hour away from Pleasanton. So, yeah, these storms are expected to hold on and stay strong all the way through that, too. So, just be ready. They're still a long way out. It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a little late. But know that those storms are still heading in your direction. Now let's handle the north side of this, guys. Oh, excuse me. I accidentally clicked a little bit too soon there. All right. But again, some of those stronger storms are moving through Hondo at the moment. So let's get it all the way out to here. You notice New Braunfels, 11:04 p.m. So in about an hour, storms arrive in New Braunfels. San Antonio, 10:55. Leon Valley, 10:39. Canyon Lake, 10:30. Canyon Lake, you've already had some heavy rainfall move through. You have even more heavy rain heading in your direction. So you're not done yet. You already had a pretty good storm move over you, but more storms are on the way. By 10:15 p.m., we have strong storms heading into Fair Oaks Ranch. Are we going to have high winds in San Antonio? The answer is yes. Even if they're not severe criteria, we're at least going to have strong winds. Winds blowing in New Braunfels. Thank you for the timeline. Very helpful, Jenny. No problem. Let's see here. What about Hondo south of Highway 90? Strong winds right now south of Highway 90 in Hondo. I mean, I'll go ahead and zoom down for you. We've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings on the screen, though, for a reason, guys. This is kind of widespread wind just south of Highway 90 in Hondo. That's where we have the leading edge of these storms moving in. So, Castroville, you're next, by the way. We're probably about 15 minutes outside of Castroville with these storms, and that's the leading edge. The leading edge of these storms is going to be that stronger spot where we have the stronger winds, and then it's just going to get really wet, really heavy rainfall, frequent lightning behind that, and you can see the heavy rain there along Highway 90. I just want to highlight the amount of lightning strikes we've had in this area. This is a tiny area. Nearly 500 lightning strikes within the past 15 minutes. Guys, that is a ton of lightning. It's probably looking like daylight outside, honestly, because these storms are intense. And I also want to take a look at, honestly, let's look at hail. Because with rapidly intensing storms, sometimes we can have a lot of hail. Marble-size hail near Hondo, pea-size hail. Nice to see that the hail is not too large. You know, we had the larger hail down towards La Pryor earlier. It looks like it's now south of Batesville. Let's see the size on that. Golf ball size hail. So that's south and east of Batesville. That's where we have some of the larger hail on the screen moving through. Not over too highly populated of an area, though. That's the good news. And then northern Kendall County, we have another storm, possibly putting down some hail that's around probably marble size, I would say, or walnut size. That's going to be north and east of Comfort, east of 87, and moving away from 87. That's going to be moving more on off towards the east. So there's the wide look at things. We're not seeing a lot of thunderstorm activity out ahead of the line like what we were seeing earlier. That's good because sometimes the thunderstorm activity out ahead of the line, that's where we could get those brief spin-up tornadoes. You know, we had that tornado warning earlier on for parts of Zavala County. That has since diminished. We now have quieter conditions as far as no tornado warnings, but still a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings out there. A lot of people asking about hail. The answer is that, you know, we have some spots where there is larger hail. I can't tell you exactly if the hail is going to be large by the time it gets to you. I can tell you that we do have the potential for large hail. Much of the region has not seen that so far, though. These storms have had a history, some of them, of producing golf ball size hail. We haven't seen baseball size, but we have seen golf ball size hail possible with these storms. Much of them have just been producing anywhere from pea to nickel size hail. So not the largest hail, but it is possible that we could have larger hailstones as they pass through. So let's check out some of the reports. We had thunderstorm wind damage reported in Uvalde. We had talked about how strong the winds were as they moved through. The county emergency manager reported tree limbs down around town as well as power lines down. Heads up San Antonio and Bexar County. There are reports of power outages with these storms and the same parts of the storms that are just off to the west. So if you're in San Antonio, plug your phone in, get it charged, because we may lose power here, at least for a brief period of time. There's a lot of lightning with these storms. We're likely going to have power outages just because of all the lightning strikes. But with the strong winds as well, we're going to have more ways that we could lose power. We also had half-inch size hail in Blanco. So that's another thing we've been watching. We've been keeping a close eye on hail. The largest hail we had reported was at near Rock Springs at Devil's Sinkhole State Park, an inch size hail. So just within that criteria of being severe sized hail. Does it hold together as far south as Victoria? The answer is yes, it is expected to. Don't forget about the small towns around San Antonio. Sandy, don't worry, we have not forgotten about you. We're watching this closely. Again, this is going to be impacting everybody in Bexar County over the next hour. So anywhere in Bexar County, whether you live in San Antonio or you live in one of the small towns around San Antonio, Fair Oaks Ranch, it's on your doorstep. You know, we have it up in Bernie. It's already there. It's already arrived in Bernie. But the strong winds are going to be moving through. Honestly, right here at the station, we're about to have a little bit of outflow. So here's the outflow. It's just arrived in Helotes. If you're in Helotes, you got strong winds. They've already arrived. Or if you're on the northwest side of Helotes, rather, excuse me. Behind this line, the strong winds have already arrived. Helotes, they're going to arrive for you within the next 5 minutes. Really next 5 to 10 minutes. And then the stronger winds that are associated with the storms, which are currently in Lake Hills, the winds are going to pick up. You're going to see a lot more lightning. You're going to get a lot of heavy rain, maybe some small hail. We're not seeing very large hail within this storm at the moment, but you may experience some small hail. I just, I thought I turned on hail, excuse me. There you have it, near Lake Hills, maybe pea-size hail, very small. Hail size even out of range, or there you go, pea size. So it's really small hail within there, but it's still possible. So we'll keep on the lookout for that. We'll watch that closely. Again, I think the stronger parts of the storm, Pearsall, here it comes. It's going to be there in about less than 15 minutes, one of the stronger parts of the storm for you. Let me see if the National Weather Service has anything new on this. They've canceled the severe thunderstorm warning, which is on the Kerr, Kendall, and Bandera area, county area. So that severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled. It looks like there's still one, though, for portions of Kendall County. The one that was further off to the west and south has been allowed to cancel, though. Seeing some more questions. Let's see here. I see some questions about Bulverde and Elmendorf, and the answers all is, listen, this is right on the doorstep. So Elmendorf, we could be talking about 10:30 to 10:45 for you. Really, actually, I would say closer on towards 11 o'clock. But the storms are coming. You don't have a severe thunderstorm warning for your area at the moment, but you are going to be placed, you are going to have that chance for strong winds, heavy rain, about tripped on my cord, heavy rain and frequent lightning with these storms. So they're still headed down towards your area. It's just, right now you're seeing them from a distance. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that's barely clipping parts of San Antonio, right there around Lackland is where the corner of the severe thunderstorm warning is, and then areas stretching into southwest Bexar County. A lot of lightning, and guys, we're going to have power outages. That's what you need to be ready for tonight. I think everyone's going to have that possibility for a power outage. Whether you have damaging winds and hail or not, you're going to have that possibility for a power outage because of how much lightning is within these storms. I mean, look at those numbers. More than 1,500 lightning strikes. We're looking at a big area, but more than 1,500 lightning strikes within 15 minutes. I mean, that's pretty significant. I see, what about Converse? And guys, again, I see a lot of questions about different areas of San Antonio and Bexar County as a whole. The answer is, I mean, the storms are going to move through within the next hour to hour and a half. Weather Chief Bill Taylor, he was just on TV giving an update about them. He's going to give another update about these storms coming up within the next 10 minutes. So, be sure you're watching KENS 5 as well if you want even more updates. Of course, we're not getting off here anytime soon. I'm staying on here until these severe thunderstorm warnings are done. But, Weather Chief Bill Taylor, he's on too, giving updates on KENS 5, the CBS affiliate here in town. So Hondo, a lot of noise overhead right now. An electric storm over your region. A lot of heavy rain moving through. I do see your question there, Debbie. What about Hondo? I do want to talk about your area real quick. And that's because you have the strongest part of the storm that you're going to experience tonight over your region right now. I mean, Hondo, it's probably really gusty winds. This storm just went through Uvalde, and it caused some damage to knock down a few tree branches, and it also caused some power outages in Uvalde. Hondo is likely about to experience the same. Probably going to have some power outages. Got some strong winds moving through there, a lot of lightning, tons of lightning in Hondo. I mean, guys, watch this. This is just a little area. More than 200 lightning strikes in 15 minutes. And that was just a little area that I highlighted right there around Hondo. Lots of heavy rain. We could have some localized flooding. Those little creeks are going to fill up quickly. We could also have a lot of ponding on the roadways. Not a good idea to be out driving right now. So try to get where you need to be. If you're in San Antonio, get where you need to be right now for the rest of the night. Stay there. Just try to relax a little bit. Again, make sure your phone is charged because we could have power outages. I see more questions about Elmendorf and then the Floresville area. Maybe Floresville kind of closer on towards 11:30. And Elmendorf to Floresville really about 11 to 11:30. Checking the charge on my phone real quick. I had to plug in just because I had been live on Facebook, guys, for about 3 hours before we started this update. We were on for about 3 hours, and then we hopped off, and then we got back on, just because we had a new severe warning in place. So we're going to be on until these severe thunderstorm warnings are done. Weather Chief Bill Taylor, by the way, we have an update showing up on the screen right now, showing where the radar is, where those storms are. He's got updates on TV. I'm covering it on digital, just for those who are asking where he's at. Asking about hail, see a thank you. No problem. Let's go ahead and look at hail again. I know a lot of people are wondering about that. I don't think hail is as big of an issue with these storms. Power outages, going to be a little bit bigger of an issue. Guys, I'm going to bring this up on a 3-box. Check this out. They're showing this on TV right now. Look at that lightning. So this is from one of our KENS 5 vehicles. A lot of lightning in the sky. Now don't worry, that's the passenger that is getting all that video. And hold up, let me turn the audio down too. So I turned the audio down real quick, just so it wasn't too loud for y'all. I'm sure there's a lot of rain and a lot of thunder being heard, and also the noise from the vehicle. But that's going to be from a Kent's 5 vehicle, the passenger getting that video. Heavy rain, and man, that is a ton of lightning. That's why we don't want you out. Now, our crew's out there trying to report this for you, just to let you know what's going on. This is what it's going to be like in San Antonio in less than an hour. So that's what's going to be heading in our direction. What about Pleasanton, and around what time? So strong to severe storms possible in Pleasanton. You see the severe thunderstorm warning just outside your town. That's what it's expected for right now. That severe thunderstorm warning could be extended into Pleasanton, and I'm thinking probably around 11, maybe 11:15ish for Pleasanton. When will it hit Seguin? Maybe about 11:30, possibly to midnight. So again, these storms, they were going really quick. It does look like they are keeping up that pace just a bit. Let me see the latest speed on these from the National Weather Service. Right now, by the way, in Pearsall, so this storm is expected to have around penny-size hail and wind gusts of 60 miles per hour. Penny-size hail, not as much of a concern. Now, wind gusts of 60 miles per hour, that could cause some power outages and a little bit of damage. So that's why it is severe warning, not because of the hail, but because of the wind. By the way, Weather Chief Bill Taylor, he's on now. He's got the full update. Full weather is happening right now, main weather in the show, if you wanted to watch that as well. But, of course, we're staying on right here. Cotulla under severe thunderstorm warning now. That's a newer severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. These storms all moving off to the east, to some storms even moving off to the southeast at about 40 miles per hour. We have had a few reports of larger hail, strong wind gusts, and also even a bit of damage in some areas. That was Uvalde, where we had the thunderstorm wind damage reported. That was from power lines being down and also tree branches being down around town as well. That was reported by the county emergency manager right there in Uvalde. Rain just starting to come down right outside of Helotes. Thank you for your report. By the way, guys, if you see something, send a report in to us. We want to hear what you have to say, what you see out there. Now, only take photos and only go out to get reports if it's safe. We don't want anyone to put themselves in harm's way. You know, there's a lot of lightning out there. Lightning can be very deadly. We don't want anyone to put themselves in harm's way during this event. The gusty winds that I talked about just about 15 minutes ago, they've passed through Helotes. They're at 1604 now. Heavy rainfall moving into Helotes at the moment. The northwest part of town, getting that rain continuing to move through. Lake Hills, I'm willing to bet we've got power outages because that's a lot of lightning and that's a lot of strong wind that's moving through there at the moment. Let's see here. Rain just now is starting to come down. Is it going to weaken as it gets closer? Brandy, the answer is likely not by much. It may even strengthen. So these storms have been pulsing. Weather Chief Bill Taylor was talking about that. Looks like our weather truck's taking a quick stop. I'll keep an eye on just to see if they get any more video to kind of show off. But it looks like they're stopping in Hondo. I passed through Hondo just yesterday, and I passed through that area right there that they're stopping at. So, yeah, a lot of heavy rain, frequent lightning, gusty winds, and it's been pulsing. Sometimes it's weaker, and then it'll strengthen again. Then it'll weaken again, then it'll strengthen again. So that's kind of what these storms have been doing. They're expected to continue throughout tonight. I see use GR2 or GR3 analyst. The answer is GR2 and GR3 isn't as friendly to the viewer eyes at home. Our friend there on the Facebook Live is talking about actually a more high-tech weather radar that we sometimes use behind the scenes to kind of get an idea about what storms are doing through the eyes of a meteorologist. So I appreciate the suggestion, though. I do love GR2 and GR3 analyst, but we're going to keep it on this radar here. Hail in Lake Hills. I don't doubt it. What's the size of that hail in Lake Hills. Ike, if you can send that to me, I would love to know. Just, you don't have to go out and take a picture of it because you do have a severe or a strong storm over you. It's not a severe thunderstorm. But I would love to know the size of the hail that you're experiencing there. With these storms coming in, my linemen as well as many others are prepping to go to work in this. Jessica, that's a good point. You know, linemen are about to be headed out on the roadways. That's a good point to kind of stay in. We don't want people out driving like crazy through all this rain and lightning because crews are about to be out there trying to get all the power restored that could be lost soon with the gusty winds and the frequent lightning that's going to be passing through here in just a moment. I'm going to highlight the lightning again, guys, because it is a ton of it. Take a look at that. That is a large area that I highlighted, but we don't typically see thunderstorms like this in South Texas, where we have a large amount of lightning, more than 1,500 lightning strikes in 15 minutes. I used to work in Biloxi, Mississippi, which isn't far from New Orleans, and I'll tell you, in that part of the country, we get these really beefy thunderstorms, I guess you could say, that have a lot of lightning and heavy rain and fall associated with them. You typically get them in the summertime, especially overnight, and I haven't seen lightning counts like this in a long time. So these are really intense thunderstorms that are passing through this evening. I'm seeing, are they fast moving, or should we be worried about prolonged flooding? We are lower than Cibolo Creek, but have all the feeders all around us. So here's your answer. The answer is we could have isolated flooding. Areas that typically flood could possibly see flooding. Here's another concern. It's a wide area that's getting the heavy rainfall. We could see a little bit of flooding here and there. I'm not expecting widespread with major flooding issues because these storms are moving east at 40 miles per hour. But because they're putting down heavy rainfall at such a quick pace, we may have some isolated flooding. We're not talking widespread, but isolated flooding in certain areas that typically experience flooding, and then also a lot of ponding on the roadways. Small hail being reported in Alamo Springs. I see the Lake Hills hail is minimal size. That's what most of the hail has been with these storms. We haven't had many storms producing large hail. So that's the good news. All those wondering about the hail, because I know a lot of people have been asking about it. That's a big issue that we have here in South Texas, but it has not been as much of an issue with the hail. And I'll pop that back up just so we can get a good look at it. Now in Hondo, I say that, but in Hondo we may get a pretty good size hailstone or two. Maybe walnut size hail. So not necessarily golf ball size hail, but I mentioned it earlier. We do have strong winds in Hondo right now. We do have the stronger part of the storm. You're also seeing hail, maybe up towards golf ball, maybe up towards walnut size. We got a crew there now. They're getting video. Now I'm trying to see if I can see any hailstones falling too. Not really seeing any. Let me kill their audio real quick. Sorry about stepping off camera there, guys. Just wanted to make sure that we didn't hear a bunch of heavy rain while we're trying to give updates on this. So a lot of lightning, a lot of rain, and I'm not seeing too much in the way of hail, but hail is definitely possible. It's kind of far away from me, so I may just not be able to see it. Let's see here. How bad will it get in Jordanton? Hail and wind-wise, Dakota, it's still a little too early to know for sure. It looks like that hail core has shrunk a little bit near Hondo. That's good news. So maybe it got to its most intense point, then it shrunk again. Hopefully that continues to shrink. That is heading towards Castroville. So if you're in Castroville, you may get some hail here in just a moment. Let's hope that hail size continues to stay small, or smaller rather. Maybe a little bit of hail down towards Pearsall. Possibly up towards golf ball size in some spots. Let me take off the watch and warning here. So maybe up towards golf ball size. That is damaging hail. So much of these storms have not produced damaging hail, but this one is. Golf ball size hail would be considered damaging hail, and that's in Pearsall, crossing I-35 right now. Not a road you want to be on. We see a few people driving as we watch our weather truck give updates here. See a few people driving out on the roads. Not a good idea. Please try not to be out on the roads. If you're in San Antonio, get to where you need to be. Heavy rain has already started to move across 1604 on the northwest side. Want everyone to go ahead and get to their spot that they need to be in for the night. Stewart's saying it's hailing in Bernie, about pea-size hail. That's the size of most of the hail in the region. We haven't had too many areas have larger hail than that. Not seeing that really show up on radar, but that does not mean it's not happening. Sometimes you just don't see it on radar. Sometimes the radar doesn't pick up on it as well. Zooming out here, getting an idea of northern Blanco County too. Want to look at our neighbors down here to the south, near Carrizo Springs. Possibly maybe up towards walnut-sized hail near Asherton. Heading east towards Catarina along 83. This will be south of Carrizo Springs. But still a lot of heavy rain in Carrizo Springs at the moment. So let's get another timeline on these storms. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me reset this radar. Missy says she got rain in Floresville already. Yes, some of us are getting rain out ahead of this, and then the bulk of the rain won't move through until later. So more rain is expected in Floresville later on. I see we are getting it again in Brackettville. Now, in Brackettville, here's the good news. You're getting some lightning, maybe a little bit of rain here and there, but it's not as significant as what you had earlier on. You may just get a little bit of rain, a little bit of lightning here and there. I see Carolyn says satellite TV went out. Thank you for keeping us informed. You guys are the best. And you know, that's why we do this, Carolyn, because we understand that sometimes you are going to lose us on TV. Maybe it's on satellite, maybe it's over the air, maybe you're on, maybe you just lost power. But we understand that you could lose. I'm seeing if they got hailstones there. I'm not really seeing it show up on the screen, but they could very well end up seeing some hail on the screen there in a second. We'll keep a close eye on that. But we understand that we're going to lose power every once in a while with storms this intense, and that's why we are on digital, and we're going to stay on until we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings on this screen anymore. So that's why we're on. That's why we're going to stay on. I'm glad you are joining us. I see a question about Seguin, and the answer is Seguin maybe within the next hour. So maybe at about 11:30, storms will start to arrive in Seguin. But right now, not as much of an issue for you. I'm trying to see. Give me 1 second. Let me bring up this other camera shot real quick. I'm going to keep this on because I want you to see, that's a Sonic there in Hondo. Look at the water coming off of the awning. So these storms and showers are moving pretty quick, but they're putting down a lot of rainfall. And you can see that the awning, just water just falling off of it like crazy. That is significant rainfall that is just coming down really quick, and that's why we said isolated flooding could be an issue because the water is coming down so quick. Sammy says Canyon Lake. He's located somewhere where he wants some more information. And Sammy, the answer is Canyon Lake is going to get some gusty winds, but no severe thunderstorm warning for you. Here's the thing: a lot of lightning that's going to be moving through Canyon Lake in about the next hour. Really, in about 30 minutes, it's going to be right on top of you. You're going to get some gusty winds, too. Lower than 60-mile-per-hour gusts, but still possibly more than 40-mile-per-hour gusts. That's going to be moving through Canyon Lake. So just a heads up there for you. Not seeing anything in the way of a tornado warning or anything for that region, but a tornado warning can't be ruled out. We still have that possibility of an isolated tornado or two. Our more intense storms are located south of San Antonio, but we still have some strong storms that are going to be moving through the city itself over the next hour. So here we are at 10:31. We talked about downtown getting the brunt of the stronger storms, like the front end of it, right at about 11 o'clock. Honestly, it could be a little bit sooner. It could be more like 10:45 to 11 o'clock. We already have stronger winds starting to get closer to us here at the station. We're located actually right near Oakland Estates, kind of southeast of that. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we already have rain outside. That's just going to continue to pick up for us. You see, man, it is coming down still really hard. That shot, our weather cam shot, showing the heavy rain really coming down there. When are they leaving San Antonio? You know, that's a great question. We've talked a lot about them arriving. A lot of people wanting to know when they arrive, but when will they leave? And the answer is these showers and storms should head on off towards the east by the time we get closer on towards midnight. I think we're going to start to see by about 11 o'clock midnight, things will start to calm down and we'll get some quieter weather in. By the way, new severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Bexar and Comal County. This severe thunderstorm warning until 11:30 p.m. Look at the amount of people affected by this warning. 1,700,000 people, more than that, impacted by this warning. Now, here's going to be the main threat with this. It's going to be damaging wind. We're not going to be talking too much about hail, but hail is still going to be possible. Possibly up to quarter-size hail at times. Not widespread, but isolated areas could possibly see that. Now, we're going to have power outages. Just be ready for that. We're going to have the possibility for wind to be knocking down power lines and tree limbs onto power lines. We're going to have a lot of lightning strikes, which could lead to power outages. Just get ready for that. I think we're going to have some power outages here in San Antonio within the next about hour or so. So I would not be surprised if the lights flickered here at the station over the next 30 minutes to the next hour ourselves. So there's the new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that includes Schertz, that includes Hollywood Park, that includes Timberwood Park, it includes Bulverde. Guys, I'm going to grab a sip of water real quick. This includes Castroville. Castroville is currently under severe thunderstorm warning. We have a severe thunderstorm warning currently in Hondo, Lake Hills, Helotes, Hollywood Park, and San Antonio itself, all under these severe warnings. I see a report of Pearsall getting very small hail. Yolanda, thank you for that report. Sometimes the radar can overestimate the hail size. You know, we were looking a second ago and it looked like it could be golf ball size hail down towards Pearsall. But there we get a ground report from the town. Thank you, Yolanda, saying that it was small hail because now we know the actual size. So sometimes the radar can mess up a little bit, just like the weather models that we look at. Let's see here. What about Gonzales? You know, we haven't really mentioned Gonzales yet. And the answer is these storms may not be in your area until about 2 a.m., to be honest. They're still a little bit of ways out. So we're watching you closely. But again, still a little bit out till they arrive to your region. So give me a second, guys. I'm scrolling through. I want to make sure I get all these questions answered. Pea-sized hail in Comfort a few minutes ago. Bradley, thank you for your report. I see the question about Canyon Lake area. The answer is strong winds, frequent lightning, and heavy rain headed in your direction. Canyon Lake, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's this latest warning that was issued. And man, that may be a really huge warning, Polygon. Because that goes all the way up towards Williamson County, Burnett County. Who else is in? It goes all the way to Bell County. So we've got this new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued stretches from just under Bell County, rather, all the way down to Bexar County. So you can see they're expecting strong winds and the possibility for hail all the way through this region. So that's pretty much everybody north of San Antonio that watches KENS 5, if you are in our viewing area, and you are east of, let's say, Fredericksburg and Kerrville, you are currently under severe thunderstorm warning because of the possibility for damaging wind and large hail. That's probably one of the biggest severe weather on severe thunderstorm polygons I've ever seen. That is a huge one. But, I mean, it's warranted. I mean, these storms are really strong again. They have pockets of damaging wind, pockets of large hail possible, and that's what we're watching closely. Pouring in Hondo, strong wind too. I'm willing to bet, man. We've had a lot of strong winds making their way through along Highway 90 for tonight. Dakota says, any threat of tornadoes? The answer is we may have an isolated tornado or two. We have had one tornado warning tonight that was very short-lived. Have had no confirmed reports that a tornado actually touched down, but radar did pick up on the fact that there could have been a tornado in one spot. Much of this is just straight-line winds, and that again is why we have the severe thunderstorm watch in place rather than a tornado watch. That's severe thunderstorm watch until 4 a.m. Now, some areas are done. They don't have a severe risk anymore. May still have a little bit of lightning, a little bit of rain, but it's safe for you to go to bed. If you're in Edwards County, if you're in Kinney County, if you're in Val Verde County, the severe weather risk is over. Weather's going to get quieter over these next few hours. And then the rest of the viewing area will follow suit after these storms pass through. Behind this main line of storms, you're going to get a little bit of lightning and a little bit of rain, but quieter weather is going to end up moving in. Valerie says, is that including Victoria? The answer is yes. We have a severe thunderstorm watch all the way down to Victoria until 4 a.m. So it's going to be throughout the night. If you wanted to get some sleep, the answer is, go ahead and have a way to be woken up in case a severe warning is put into place for your area. Sammy is saying, how long till it hits Canyon Lake? And the answer is going to be within the next 15 to 30 minutes for you. How fast is it moving and in what direction? It's moving 40 miles per hour towards the east. Guys, let me go ahead and give another timeline. It's been a bit since we did a timeline. It's been about 15 minutes to 20 minutes, and I think it's worth going ahead and doing another timeline. All right, so this is kind of the very front end. So, Leon Valley at 10:43, San Antonio by 11:05, New Braunfels by 11:11, McQueenie, so well east of Canyon Lake, by 11:23. Seguin could have the severe winds, the stronger winds, by about 11:30. Martindale by 11:36. I would say let's go ahead and put this timeline right over Canyon Lake. That way you can get an idea just by looking at it just by yourself. Let's see here. So, Canyon Lake, there's the timeline for you. 10:48, 11:02 in Wimberley. These storms are moving east at about 40 miles per hour. So, it's right on the doorstep of Canyon Lake. You got less than 10 minutes, and this storm's moving right over you. Let's zoom down towards Bexar County. Let's try to do this county by county, guys, because I know I have a lot of questions on when storms will arrive and what to expect. The answer is the main risk will be damaging wind. So Leon Valley, 10:46, the Alamo Dome by about 11:04, so downtown by 11:04, 11:02 for downtown San Antonio itself. New Braunfels by 11:13, McQueenie by 11:21, Seguin by 11:28, Lavernia by 11:39. Let's go further to the south. I know a lot of people have been asking about Pleasanton. Oh, I did not get a full sweep of that. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, also did not mean to zoom out just then. So, Jourdanton. A lot of questions about Jourdanton. 10:52, Pleasanton, 11:02, Poteet, 11:03, Lytle, 11:09, Buena Vista, 11:10, Elmendorf, 11:22, and you see all the way down toward Campbellton by 11:40. So that's a little bit of an update on the timeline. Then our neighbors all the way down towards Cotulla. We don't want to forget about them. Looks like it could be hitting Cotulla by 10:53. So really soon. Fowlerton by 11:28. Dilley by 10:42. So really right there at Dilley already. But that's a little bit of an idea. That's the strong winds that we're talking about. Again, hail, not as big of a concern with these. Strong winds, frequent lightning causing power outages is the main concern. Much of these storms not producing damaging hail. Much of the hail has been smaller. Even though we have golf ball size hail being reported down here closer just east of Pearsall, we actually had ground reports that the hail was much smaller than that. That can sometimes happen where the hail is actually smaller than what the radar is saying. Sammy says the winds have picked up at Canyon Lake. Sammy, thank you for your report. I see a question about shirts. The answer is maybe some small hail, not damaging hail, just small, maybe pea size, gusty winds, and that'll be in about 30 minutes or less. And you see the motion of all this, guys, all coming in from the west. A lot of lightning. I just heard my first rumble of thunder within the station myself. We're located on the northwest side of San Antonio. Helotes, man, Helotes got a lot of lightning right now. Take a look at this. About 118 strikes within 15 minutes. So that's a lot of lightning. It's moving into Leon Valley now. That is correct. Right now the thunderstorms are moving into Leon Valley, the heavier rain. Guys, this is going to continue for about 30 minutes to an hour. And then after that, it will start to quiet down again. Maybe even up to an hour and 15. I'd say between 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes this will continue. We'll get a little bit of lightning behind it, a little bit of heavy rain here and there, but things will start to quiet down as we head into the later hours of tonight, tomorrow morning. That is for San Antonio West. When you head east, you may not even see the storms until about 2 to 4 a.m. And you know,
going, man?
Yeah, we got the man himself, Bill Taylor. Bill Taylor back in the house. Bill just hopped off of the 10 o'clock newscast, and you know, Bill, we had some really interesting video there. That was Hondo, right?
Hondo, yeah. So Sue Kalberg headed down Highway 90 west just to give us a, you know, bird's eye, or I should say roadside view, because she had to get under some shelter. I mean,
Yeah.
it is really pounding most of Medina County at the top of the newscast, and a lot of lightning. I mean, that has been the most impressive part of the storm so far. But she was showing us that there was hardly any hail coming down. So the good news is that for the most part, this line that's dropping into northwest Bexar County is not containing large hail. You can maybe count on some small pea size, marble size at the most, but the larger hailstones have been found south. It's really near Pearsall. In order to really get a better look at that, we take off the lightning, throw on the hail tracker, and sure enough, just northeast of Pearsall in Frio County, that's the pocket of hail that's probably the largest. And I'm going to estimate, you just saw it change live, that's probably going to be about golf ball size. It's not going to be large enough to do any kind of widespread damage, but it's certainly something to watch for. And again, the largest that we're seeing on the map. So for the most part, these warnings have been issued based upon the wind speeds that are being produced, and that's going to be 55 to 65 miles per hour, give it that range. And the storms are also really kind of slowing down upon arrival. You know, here in the Bexar County area, this warning until 11:30 as the storm moves east at 30 miles per hour. And this is what we anticipated, you know, march through the hill country at a pace of about 40 miles per hour. But sure enough, once dropping down south of the Balcones Escarpment into the city, and we start cutting that pace down a bit. So now 30 miles per hour definitely means we start leaning into more of a flood threat, because as these rainfall rates, again, are producing a tremendous amount of rainfall.
We saw it in Hondo. I mean, in that video, we had it up here back on the live shot too. We had the live shot back here in our digital center, and we could see the rain coming down off the awning at that Sonic in Hondo. And wow, the amount of water coming out of the drainage there, that's a lot of rain.
A lot of rain, you know, and you keep in mind just how much moisture stacked up, even in the wake of good rain totals this week and a good dump of that moisture. The southeast winds haven't quit.
Yeah.
See, without this being a cold front setup, without this being a front that changes the air mass and dries us out a little bit, you know, we continue to replenish all that Gulf moisture. Also, one of the most interesting things as I loop this, let's go back and loop it about 3 hours, was watching these individual thunderstorms feed into the line. So as I put this in motion, watch as the storms that are mainly north of San Antonio, let's zoom in here, see those? That fire up over Comal County. Watch them feed right into that storm line. And that's what produced several warnings that were heading up towards Gillespie County a little bit earlier, just before the 10 o'clock broadcast. Now these are all new warnings that are going right up 281 corridor for Johnson City, namely, because you can see a little bit more hail showing up there. But as far as Bexar County is concerned, we're not seeing a whole lot of hail. I mean, just some small pockets. That would be maybe about marble size at the most, right?
Yeah, nothing too much of a concern. It's really the stronger winds and frequent lightning that's going to probably cause some power outages here. You know, I do want to mention, too, we just got that flash flood warning in northern Kendall County. That's a newer warning itself that was recently issued, and that's from that same storm you were just mentioning that was moving off to the northwest. A lot of heavy rainfall associated with that storm, and it's caused that flash flood warning to be put into place. So just a heads up, if you live in a lower area, you just want to be on the lookout for that.
So here's what the warning is considered. It's northeast Kendall County, so you're going to be outside of Bernie for sure, and just off to the east of Comfort. And there's a good clap of thunder over us here at the Ken's 5 studios. So 1 to 2 inches of rain in that Kendall County spot. And we've got some flash flooding occurring near Sisterdale, Candalia, Waring, Bergheim, and along the Guadalupe River at the state park there. Watch out in Spring Branch as well as Crown, because again, a flash flood warning means we are experiencing some flooding, and that's going to be northeast Kendall County, just off to the west of 281.
Yeah, we just had some, I don't know if y'all heard that in the background, that we have the scanners on in the newsroom, and so it sounds like emergency crews are outside working hard in this. You know, don't be outside driving in this. That you don't give them any extra work that they don't need to be doing. You know, if we don't need to be outside driving around the city right now, it's best to just kind of stay home where you're at with the severe thunderstorm warning in place and this heavy rainfall.
Well, I think that's the blessing too, is that not only in the current situation and the pandemic orders of, you know, staying home more often than ever, that really helps. You know, we're hunkered down for that, but then also the time of day. I mean, yeah, it would be a Friday night where a lot of people would be out, but with everything closed and we're still in these, you know, pandemic precautions, if you will, that keeps a lot of people home. Well, so does this hour of day, and that also helps with the fuel for these storms. I mean, we don't need much more fuel, right?
Right.
These storms are doing pretty well, and there's a lot of fuel out there. But if this was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we'd have a lot more heat for these storms to work with, and they could even be a little bit more dangerous than they are right now.
Yeah, and you know, I saw earlier, someone was asking how much longer for Pearsall. Like, how much longer do we have to go through this? I'm sure the question was. And the answer is you probably got about maybe 30 more minutes, 15 to 30 more minutes of this.
I think 30 to 45.
Because you're really under it. And honestly, when you're under this, it's going to feel like forever.
Yeah.
Because the amount of lightning you're having and the amount of strong winds and heavy rain, it's going to feel like you were under it forever, even though it's probably about 30 minutes to an hour. But yeah, it's really coming down out there, guys. I mean, it may not be coming down too hard in San Antonio just yet, but it's going to. Just get ready.
Yeah, downtown and you know, Live Oak, China Grove, Elmendorf. You're not getting this just yet, but it's coming in from the west, and it's coming in at about 25 to 30 miles per hour west to east. We have severe thunderstorm warnings all along this line that have a lot more to do with wind than hail size. There's some hail embedded mainly to the south of the city as far as the larger hailstones. In and around the city, I think the hail's going to be small, but the winds are going to be strong.
Yeah, Agreed. I mean, yeah, and thankfully we're not getting the heaviest of the rain in San Antonio with this line. I think it's a little bit heavier to our south, but it's still going to be pretty heavy.
All right, time to interrupt Mr. Stephen Colbert and do a little Ken's 5 television on these warnings.
All right, well, we'll see you again in a second
we'll
then.
Be back.
All right.
That.
Trying to find a good place to place the mic for a second, guys. All right, so again, you can also watch Weather Chief Bill Taylor's updates on TV. Don't forget, Ken's 5, we're live not just on Facebook, YouTube, and on our app and website. We're also live on TV occasionally whenever we have these stronger to severe storms moving in. So with this stronger part of the storm moving into downtown, Weather Chief Bill Taylor, he's going to hop on real quick, give an update on what's going on, and he'll be back here in just a moment to assist me with this Facebook Live. But again, man, it's about to really come down outside. Right here at the station even, we're about to get some heavy rainfall. Again, hail not as big of a threat, but heavy rain, gusty winds, likely going to have some power outages here, guys. I'm bringing back up Facebook. I knocked it down real quick, pulling it back up. I'm traveling home in the morning on 21 from Madisonville. How's my trip going to be to McQueenie on 21 and 35? Honestly, tomorrow morning, as long as you wait till after 6, it's going to be a lot quieter. The storms will be moved out, so Nicole looking like a lot better there. Patrick says, is HEB open? Again, try not to go out tonight. I think he's a little joking around just a little bit. No need to head out just right now, but you know, just try to stay in as long as we have stronger storms moving through. Hollywood Park, an electric storm up there, Helotes as well. Castroville, seeing the very heavy rain. Lacoste has the heavy rain over you right now with some of the more frequent lightning. Severe thunderstorm warnings in place for all of these areas, by the way. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings in place nearly all the way down to Laredo, stretching all the way up towards Bexar County, which is where Killeen is. So we have a huge stretch of I-35 all under a severe thunderstorm warning from these stronger storms that are moving through right now. Patrick says, reporting live from San Antonio. It's wonderful outside. It's wonderful if you like really stormy conditions, but again, it's pretty nasty out there. You could have some power outages. There's a few storms out ahead of this, west of Nixon and west of Floresville. They're behaving themselves, though. A lot more lightning south of San Antonio. And guys, this again, I said the more intense part of the storm is south of San Antonio. Honestly, I didn't highlight the largest area there, but more than 1,000 lightning strikes within 15 minutes. That lets you know that that's really intense down towards Pearsall. So I could understand the question earlier, how much longer in Pearsall? Because it's just been really intense there. And you know, you still got about 15 to 30 minutes of the intense thunderstorm over you. Any chance of tornadoes? The answer is yes. We do have a low chance for an isolated tornado or two. The chance is not as high, but it is still there. So just be on the heads up for that. We could have an isolated tornado or two tonight, but the chance is lower. We did have a tornado warning earlier for Zavala County. That warning has expired. It was very short-lived, and we had no confirmed tornadoes from that. It was just the possibility of a tornado. Checking with the National Weather Service. I'm seeing if anything is being reported from them. Give me 1 second, guys. Seeing reports of tree limbs down up towards Inks Lake State Park. That's north of our viewing area. But still, our storms could be just as strong, so that's important to know. Another cell, 2 storms are moving together near Frio County, near Pearsall, instantaneous rainfall rates of 5 to 7 inches per hour are estimated by rainfall. So that's a lot of rain all at once. Could cause some issues. They're about to issue a flood advisory for Bexar County because nearly an inch has been observed in 30 minutes in northwest Bexar at Scenic Loop near Blue Hill Drive. So this is important to note. You know, around the, I believe it's the Oakland Hills area. I believe that's what it's called. Oakland Estates. Around Oakland Estates, we have a lot of low water crossings. These are going to close. Do not try to drive through flooded areas, please. Again, if you're not where you need to be there now. But thankfully, not a lot of us are going to be out driving tonight. But a lot of these creeks and riverbeds could fill up, and we could see a little bit of a flash flood concern in isolated areas. Not widespread flooding, but flash flooding concerns could be for some areas that we're going to watch closely. I see the question, 2 storms moving together? Yes. So sometimes you have a storm out ahead of another one. They move together, and that could lead to heavy downpours. It could lead sometimes to a spike in hail. It could lead to a strengthening of the storm. But yes, that's exactly what we're talking about there. Someone asking, does hail have a 5-second rule? Patrick, you know, pick it up, take a photo for us as long as it's safe to go pick it up outside. Remember, don't go outside if it's not safe to step outdoors. Let's see here. Take lightning off till it hits Pleasanton. So let me remove lightning real quick for you. The winds have picked up outside. I can hear it outside of our station. So there's a look at the hail. We have some down towards 173. Not as much of an issue in San Antonio. Maybe pea-size hail in Lacoste. Not an issue. Again, pea-size, real small. That's not going to cause any damage. Up towards Timberwood Park, pea-size hail again. Can we take off the lightning strikes for a moment to see how heavy the radar is showing and what's behind this? Nick, yes, no problem. I understand that there's a lot of lightning on the radar. Here's a look at the heavy rain as it moves through. I'll go ahead and loop it for you. There it is on loop. There it is showing some of the hail cores that we had. Brief periods of golf ball size hail in some areas. You see that the hail has really gone down though within the past 30 minutes. Still a lot of heavy rainfall. Still going to continue here over these next few hours as it continues to move off to the east and southeast. So now way behind this, over towards Camp Wood, you see some of the yellows. It's still heavy, but not as serious as what we have moving through San Antonio right now. Everything severe is right along this line. So if I zoom out, everything behind this line, the severe risk is over. So if you're behind this line, if you're maybe over towards Bandera County, let's say you're in Kerr County, you still have some rain, you may have some lightning, but your severe risk is over. Kinney County, it's over. Almost all of Medina County, almost all of the county. You still got some strong to severe storms in parts of the county. But west of Hondo, it's over. And most of Maverick County with the exception of the southern tip. Any word for Canyon Lake I see coming in? The answer is strong winds, a lot of lightning. It's all moving in right now, but nothing in the way of hail. Not seeing any major flood concerns, but we could have a little bit of flooding possible and water pooling in certain areas. What time do you expect this to be over in northwest San Antonio? Whew, the answer is maybe in about 30 minutes to an hour. Still going to have some lingering showers, still going to have some lightning, but the heavy stuff will be moving out of the area, northwest San Antonio, within the next 30 minutes to the next hour. Lytle, maybe a little bit of pea-sized hail at the moment. Poteet may experience maybe up to walnut-sized hail. So smaller than golf ball, a little bit bigger than pea size though, about a nickel size. About to make its way through Poteet, not far from Pleasanton, by the way, too. Will this hit Live Oak? Madison, the answer is yes. You see storms are already hitting Live Oak. Maybe even some pea-sized hail up towards your area. Going to have some frequent lightning at times. By the way, Weather Chief Bill Taylor, he's on TV right now, giving a quick update. He'll be giving these updates occasionally throughout the night. As long as we have these strong and severe storms passing through, he's told me that he plans to just jump on occasionally for a short period of time, just to let everyone know what's going on as they pass through. Seeing some of the questions come in. How about Pleasanton? The answer is the storms are right on your doorstep. Give it about 30 minutes and you'll have thunderstorms over you. Strong winds and possibly even up to walnut-sized hail possible with those storms. I'm not hearing too much thunder outside, and honestly, San Antonio not seeing as much in the way of lightning and dealing with as much thunder as what Somerset's going to deal with. Somerset, man, you're about to get really a lot of lightning. Castroville, Lytle, you're seeing it now. Turn back on lightning for a second, guys, because I want to get a count on this. More than 1,000 lightning strikes there within that area over the past 15 minutes. These are very electric storms. We may even end up with a few fires out there tonight because of this. So just a heads up, we're going to be watching that closely, and of course we've got crews throughout the night keeping track of this across South Texas. But this could lead to a fire risk. You may say, but wait, there's a bunch of heavy rain. Sometimes you still get house fires out of all these kinds of lightning strikes. So hopefully, knock on wood, I hope it doesn't happen. But it's definitely possible when you get this much lightning. What time will it be over in San Antonio? Probably in about an hour to an hour and a half total. Northwest San Antonio, half an hour to an hour. San Antonio as a whole, maybe about an hour to an hour and a half. Let's see here. Lightning starting to roll into Marion, Texas. Sky starting to light up. Heard some thunder in the distance. Thank you for your report. We appreciate that, Jessica. Someone saying they had a giant lightning strike near them. Jorge, thank you for your report. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning out there. All right, so we still have a severe thunderstorm warning that has now been issued for the Floresville area in Campbellton. Now, this is the first time they've been under a severe thunderstorm warning today. So let's talk a little bit about that. This storm making its way off towards the east. Let me see the latest from National Weather Service on this. At 40 miles per hour. So this storm is holding its speed. It's moving quickly. We like to see that. We want these storms out of the area as quickly as possible. 40 mile per hour to the east, 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible, and nickel-sized hail. So hail not as big of a concern, but still could have some strong winds with this, guys. I'm actually going to take a seat because we're going to be on this for a while. We have a lot of storms, and they're going to be holding on. So we'll be on this Facebook Live for quite a long time here. So I'm going to grab a seat real quick. But again, Pearsall is still seeing a lot of lightning, heavy rain. This is what we can expect in Pleasanton. This is what we can expect in Floresville. I do expect power outages to be a concern. Charge those phones because you're going to want to, because you're going to have that possibility of losing power, guys. Starting to thunder in New Braunfels. So let's look a little bit further on off to the north. There it is, yep. A few lightning strikes ahead of the main line. Timberwood Park and Bulverde right now seeing a lot of heavy rain and frequent lightning over their area. More than 50 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes for them. A wide look at things, and you can see the state of Texas. Let me switch my radars here, guys. The state of Texas seeing heavy rainfall. It's a bad night to be on I-35. You see the rain all the way down from Dallas, even north of Dallas, all the way up to the Red River, all the way down I-35 to Laredo. So a huge line of showers and storms. Not all of them severe, but severe really from Killeen and Bell County all the way down to Laredo. So that's a lot of showers and storms, and man, those are just going to continue to pass through the region. They're moving east at 40 miles per hour, so thankfully they've stayed a little bit faster than what they could have previously been. San Antonio, we said that anywhere between 10 and midnight they'd arrive. These storms have arrived in San Antonio now. It is 11:08, so we're right on track for when these storms are supposed to move through. But remember, they could have arrived as late as midnight. So thankfully they arrived earlier than what they could have done, and they'll continue to pass through the region. I'm going to check hail again, guys. I'm checking a few questions. Crazy winds in Jourdanton. And coming down real hard as far as the rain's concerned. Thank you for your report. So here's the hail. Again, not much out there. Hail hasn't been as big of a concern. It's really more damaging wind that's the bigger threat, as well as a lot of lightning. So maybe golf ball size hail headed near Petite, a very small area of that though. Much of the hail around it, walnut to pea size. But a small area along 16 could see golf ball size hail. And again, this is spiking and then shrinking again, so it could very well fall apart before it even makes it to Petite. But just a heads up, we're watching that little bit of a hail core. These storms are pulsing. They'll grow, they'll shrink, they'll grow, they'll shrink. They're not necessarily holding together all the way through. So, San Antonio, getting the rain, not as much lightning as our neighbors to the south. If you were closer towards Somerset, maybe towards Castroville, you began a lot more lightning, but not as much in San Antonio. So I see a question about some more storms possibly forming off to our north. Guys, I'm expecting these to this storm system that's moving through now, it's really going to help to knock things out. We could have a few lingering storms down to the south of San Antonio later tonight. You see those little highlights in pink by about 6:30 a.m. Here's the thing. We may see a few showers and storms, but this is the HRRR, the HRRR we like to call it. This is one of the weather models. It overdoes it. Usually, it tries to say that the storms are a lot more intense than what they'll actually be. So those will be pockets of heavy rain and possibly a few thunderstorms, but it's going to be quiet tomorrow morning after these storms pass through. So what you're talking about 4 a.m., forming above Austin, I'm not as concerned about those, Nathan. I saw your question there. Dennis says San Antonio has a force field around it. I like it. Thunder and rain near Live Oak. Thank you for your report there. Yeah, we do have a lot of thunderstorms still passing through that region too. So we still have a flash flood warning, by the way, in place for northeast portions of Kendall County. Severe thunderstorm warnings along I-35 stretching from Bell County all the way through down towards Cotulla even. Pleasanton still under severe thunderstorm warning. Pearsall, you're no longer under one though. Sorry, guys. Can I drink of water real quick? We've been live now since we only took about a 4-minute break. We've been live here on Facebook since 6:30. So we've been live here for 5 hours nearly, giving updates. We had an update earlier, and then we took about a 5-minute break, jumped back on. So we've been on for a long period of time tonight. And again, guys, we don't intend to hop off until these severe thunderstorms are done passing through the area. Jenny says she's waiting here in southern Atascosa. Hey, it's almost there. It's right on your doorstep, so don't worry. It's going to be there in just a second. Winds picking up in New Braunfels and Green. I'm willing to bet they are. That's where the kind of stronger part of the line in your neck of the woods is heading towards now. Canyon Lake. You're seeing the worst of it that you're going to see tonight, right now. It will quiet down within the next 15 to 30 minutes. Thankfully, we're not getting, looks like, as much rain in Canyon Lake at the moment as what we saw earlier. That's good, because Canyon Lake has had enough rain for the past week. They had a heavier rainfall total earlier on this week, and now they had a little bit more earlier on this evening, and they're getting more now, so they don't need much more than what they're getting at the moment. Dennis says, by the way, thank you for being with us tonight. Dennis, no problem. I'm happy to give these updates. Dana says, thank you for keeping us updated. No problem. Some people are saying they can hear hail. I'm going to be honest. I'm at the station in the medical center, and I thought I heard some small hail outside myself, tapping against the window. There was a brief period of it. I'm listening real quick, guys. But I think it was just pea-sized hail. It did not sound very large. We'll go ahead and bring up the hail sizes. Maybe some pea-sized hail near New Braunfels. And we're not even picking up on any hail around the San Antonio area. Again, that doesn't mean there's none there. Likely got some pea-sized hail in the San Antonio area. Damaging hail, not the main risk with these storms. Stronger winds is the higher risk. And honestly, guys, the winds in San Antonio haven't been that strong compared to other areas. I think that we've had much stronger winds down to the south of the city. We have stronger winds that are up towards Blanco. Bernie had some stronger winds earlier, but really not as much of an issue in San Antonio itself. So there's those stronger winds in the blue and the showing up in the brighter greens. So really not as much of an issue again in San Antonio, at least not yet. And I don't think we're going to see stronger winds in San Antonio. But frequent lightning could still cause power outages. We have had reports of damage in other parts of South Texas. I'll pull that up now. Oh, we've got a new report actually out of Cotulla. Let's check that out. So we had thunderstorm wind gusts reported in Cotulla. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts reported in Cotulla. So really strong winds reported for our friends down I-35. In northern Medina County, southern Bandera County, so just outside of Medina County rather, half-inch hail was reported. Southern Blanco County, we had half-inch hail reported as well. So not the largest in the way of hail, but hey, our strongest wind gust that we've reported so far has been in Cotulla. 70-mile-per-hour winds recorded there. Patrick said it is wet outside. Reporting live from Windcrest. Patrick, thank you for your report. Joseph says, thank you for your time and watching these storms, no problem. Once it hits, how long does it take to go through? Jenny, that is a great question, you know, especially for your area. You said southern Atascosa County. Here's the thing. That southern tail end of the storm that's going to hit southern Atascosa County, it's kind of wider. So for you, it may be an hour to maybe even an hour and a half for it to finish moving through. You're going to get a ton of heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and some stronger winds. So Atascosa County is where some of the stronger storms in South Texas are currently moving through. just heads up. So be ready. You're going to have some really strong winds move through. Jorge says, thank you. No problem. Thank you for sticking around with me tonight. We're sitting here in the middle of it in Lytle. Yeah, Joy, you've got a lot of lightning overhead. You've been just on that northern tier where it's more intense. Most of San Antonio not having as intensive thunderstorms, but Lytle really did see the intense storms pass through. Crownwood, Converse, Shirts, and Universal City getting hit. Thank you for your report. Hearing thunder and raining harder in Converse. Colby says, where's Bill? Bill is still in the house. He's handling a few things behind the scenes, back in the Weather Center, making sure everything is going out over the air correctly, because we do have to make sure that we have the updates going out over TV. The crawl that you see at the bottom of the screen, he's been handling a lot of that behind the scenes. He's also been cutting in occasionally on TV to make sure people stay updated on the storms as they continue to move through the region. The thunder keeps waking the baby. The storm needs to be quiet. Joseph, I'm so sorry. I hope that your whole household can get a good night's rest after all of these storms are done moving through. Patrick says he's getting mad that there's no hail yet. How else is he supposed to enjoy his drink? Patrick, I am glad there's no hail. I'm sure a lot of us here in South Texas are happy that they made it through a majority of the night without too much hail. So let's hope that the hail can continue to stay quiet. Knock on wood. Hail has not been too much of an issue. Let's go ahead and look at the latest hail tracker. Again, down towards Pleasanton. Guys, I've mentioned it. Atascosa County, that's where we've had a majority of it. Near Charlotte, maybe some walnut size hail. I'll go ahead and put the query on here so y'all can see walnut size there. Maybe golf ball size just south of Bexar County, about to move over Highway 16. This is all moving to the east. And then you see there southeast of Dilley, maybe some golf ball size hail to walnut size as well. That's going to be heading towards 97 south of Charlotte. These hail cores are short-lived. You notice they just kind of collapse. They'll try to reform. Running it back here, this is by 10 o'clock. And you notice the timeline. They'll form, they'll fall apart, they'll form, they'll fall apart. And that's just kind of the story for these as we head throughout tonight. Again, a closer look down towards Somerset. That's where that one hail core is, where we could have a little portion of that producing golf ball size hail. There you see the latest update. I said it builds, falls apart, builds, falls apart. There it is, falling apart on us. Probably just pea-sized hail now in Somerset. So good news. I prefer that myself. Dennis says he put his car in the garage earlier just in case. And Dennis, that's a good idea. Joanne says she wants to know about New Braunfels. Let's take a look at our friends up in New Braunfels. A lot of heavy rain still. Hail, not much of a concern. Frequent lightning, but honestly, a part of the storm that doesn't seem to be as severe as moving through New Braunfels. So still a lot of heavy rain, still a lot of lightning here and there, but not as much of a concern for you. So we got Bill Taylor back in the house.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. I've seen your, Bill's again. So we had some people asking, where's Bill? Where's Bill? What happened to Bill?
Right? Yeah. No. Bill's in.
Bill's
okay.
in. He's got. Yeah.
He's for the concern and the questions, but yeah, just kind of keeping tabs on both crawls, and then I did an update on Ken's 5 right at the top of the hour. Going to probably do another one at about 11:30, just to keep people abreast of the situation that can't be on Facebook. Don't use Facebook. And of course, only watch Ken's 5 television and on that broadcast channel. And the good news is, I'm really starting to see this lightning thin out for the city and up the I-35 corridor. Not the case down to the south. Once you hit southwest Bexar County and run into Atascosa County, this is going to be the concern area up into the midnight hour. I mean, we really see the largest hail being produced near Pleasanton and Poteet right now at about walnut size. But you can see that the lightning is thinning out across the city. I was looking at the CPS outage map, which I have also up in the studio. Multiple outings are starting to occur across northwest Bexar County right now. And I think that's going to just be the trend from west to east across the city, that we're going to continue to see more and more power outages. Make sure your phone's charged up. We've got several warnings right along that line as it pushes off to the east. And we haven't been short of several overlapping warnings. That's what you're also seeing with these polygons as this moves off to the east. But look at the amount of lightning down to the south that covers Atascosa and McMullen counties pretty soon here. And you can also see that's also the brunt of the warnings. We're going to maybe see some of these warnings in the San Antonio area expire on time. The threat will continue as this storm pushes east, but also look at the back building of some rain over Kerrville into Lakey down to about Uvalde. That's not a threatening area. You're seeing a lot of lightning, and those are good thunderstorms, but it's not an area where the storms are going to build tremendously. You know, you're going to have all the energy in that storm line that we're following where those warnings exist, and then that will zap the atmosphere of a lot of that potential available and convective energy, what we call CAPE, from the atmosphere temporarily. So that's why the back building showers and thunderstorms that you see aren't going to be severe. Now, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch until 4 a.m. So that's going to be why we have to watch this line as it moves slowly east, and it really is slowing down on its approach into San Antonio. That usually is the case as any kind of these storm lines come out of the hill country.
And Bill, you know, you were talking about that CPS outage map. I can actually pull that up here.
Oh, nice. So just as we were talking about, we've got the oval showing multiple outages across the area northwest of downtown into some spots there. Nothing too bad, though. I mean, it certainly isn't. We're not seeing those big oval, you know, of multiple outages.
Yeah, we're seeing, you know, customers affected in some areas, maybe 216 there, maybe about 5 there. Yeah, it's definitely isolated. Smaller areas where we're seeing customers affected. But again, a majority of these thunderstorms have been.
31 seconds.
How many?
11:30 and 31 seconds.
11:30, 31. Ray Silva, everybody, our executive director here. Thank you, my friend. So that's my hit time on Ken's 5, and that's going to be in about 6 minutes. So, yeah, what we don't see and typically will see are those larger colored ovals, you know, when we have the widespread outages. So these are really isolated.
Yeah, so
that's good news.
Yeah, so not as serious. You know, we're going to be pulling that up later on today too. You know, we got that set up on our system, so we can pull it up and show you whenever we get reports of those large outages.
Whenever you're reporting outages, we're reporting to people who have power.
Right. Yes, but it just lets you know power outages are possible.
It does let you know, and you can check on loved ones, you know, and see the communities that are being affected with that. It's always important. So you can see that Austin is about to see another round. They had an early round of thunderstorms. This is really lining up across the I-35 corridor, but it still remains to be south of San Antonio that we're having the most dangerous storms moving into Atascosa and McMullen counties. And these warnings are in effect until midnight, and that's covering a lot of ground. I mean, this is just a huge area that's underneath a lot of lightning and very heavy rain.
Yeah, and that's also one of the wider parts of this line is down towards Atascosa County. So expect a lot of rain for a long period of time. That could be that flash flooding potential that we keep talking about.
So let's throw in some storm reports and see what we're getting. Definitely some hail reports now. Here's one near Bulverde. This is going to be Timberwood Park. Just under 1-inch diameter size hail reported a little after 11, just about 10, 15 minutes ago. Hail at Timberwood Park. Not too bad at 0.8, but definitely good hail. Here's Medina Lake, Lake Hills itself. 1/2-inch diameter size hail. That was during the newscast at about 10:21. We had some pretty good hail out in Lake Hills, right over Medina Lake. Then out to the west for some thunderstorm wind damage. This is a gust of 45 miles per hour. I think the highest gust we heard, there it is, 55 miles per hour.
And we actually had an even higher gust more recently. Look down towards Cotulla. It's just hidden behind the name Cotulla, like the town name. 70 mile per hour.
Wow, nearly a hurricane force wind. Wow. Okay, that is the new high right there. Thunderstorm wind gust of 70 at Cotulla. All right, and they're still underneath some very heavy rain there.
Yeah, and the largest hail that we've had reported so far, I think is still Devil's Sinkhole State Park, located just northeast of Rock Springs, where they had about an inch size for the hail.
All right, this hail, why don't we? That's odd. There it is.
Oh, it's I have a special thing built into my graphic up there. So sometimes it's hard to select certain things on the screen. We build these graphics ourselves, actually. So there's a lot to being a meteorologist here at KENS 5. We do all sorts of things behind the scenes that a lot of people may not be aware of.
Right. Oh, so see outside of Austin, you've got there's some wind damage right there.
Yeah, Hayes County looks like we have some wind damage near Dripping Springs.
Right on it, Dripping Springs. Not anything specific, but definitely some wind damage.
1-inch tree limbs broken.
Oh, you saw that there? Okay.
Yeah. So we have 1-inch tree limbs broken. It's a public report, so someone had mentioned also that there were some shingles blown off.
All right, then some hail near Austin, half-inch diameter as well. So again, we haven't seen the monster hailstones, but that's fine with me. I'm sure everybody's okay with that. Boy, this lightning just won't quit. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a serious lightning down towards Pleasanton. Definitely going to have some power outages issues in Atascosa and then southern Bexar County. You know, northern parts of Bexar County and San Antonio hasn't been too bad.
Big split, right?
Yeah,
big
but
split.
man,
southern town is really getting clobbered.
Yeah, a lot of lightning compared to other parts of San Antonio. And Bill's about to go do an on-air cut-in, by the way, guys.
A little more television time.
He's going to be back in a second. I know a lot of people are going to ask, "Where's Bill? Where's Bill?" Don't worry. He's active. He's active behind the scenes. He also makes sure that the crawls go up on TV. So we're all kind of a team here, handling different things. I just kind of handle the digital aspect of things. So this is kind of my area where I've been trying to keep things up and running for the severe weather event itself. So let me pull back up Facebook. I put it down for a second. I see the questions of where's the hail? Thunder is shaking my little house, Jenny. Yeah, you definitely have the stronger storm in southern Atascosa County now. It's arrived to your area. That's going to just continue there down there, Jenny, for a while, so just be ready. Ann says the monster hailstones can stay away. I agree. What will it be like in Seguin? The answer is, honestly, I think Seguin's going to get a weaker part of the storm. So it's about on your doorstep. You see, you got about maybe 2 minutes before it arrives in Seguin. I mean, it's right there. But honestly, it's going to move through quick in Seguin, and it's not going to be as strong. Actually, no severe thunderstorm warning in place for your area. So Seguin, you're fine. We still have the severe thunderstorm warning for southern Bexar County, stretching all the way over to Floresville, even western parts of Karnes County, Pleasanton, Atascosa County, you're right in the middle of it, and it stretches down towards Tilden. Honestly, that is the most intense storm on the map right now. Let me go ahead and take off storm reports. And guys, that may be the most intense storm in the entire state at the moment. You know, we may have the strongest one right down here in Atascosa. I would say so. That storm now up towards Waco and McLennan County, that's a pretty good storm, and moving just west of Hillsborough there. That's a pretty good storm. But honestly, this storm down towards Pleasanton is the strongest storm in Texas right now. Let's get a good highlight on it. How much lightning in the last 15 minutes? 2,000 plus lightning strikes. That is an electric storm for 15 minutes. It's a larger area, I know, But guys, that is a lot of lightning for our friends down towards Atascosa County, and then stretching closer down the I-35 corridor down towards Cotulla. So Atascosa County by itself, I'm willing to bet they just have 1,000 lightning strikes, maybe. Yeah, 1,210. So just by themselves, Atascosa County has a lot of thunder and a lot of lightning. So Jenny, yeah, I'm willing to bet thunder's probably shaking the house. Coming down hard in Poteet. Jeanette, I hope I hear that there's no hail in Poteet. We did have a little bit of hail not too far from you earlier on, but it looks like that hail core had shrunk a lot. So I think you're getting a lot of heavy rain, but maybe some pea-sized hail. That hail core has shrunk, by the way, that's approaching Pleasanton. Doesn't mean it couldn't reform and get stronger, but it has shrunk a lot. I like to see that. We don't want to see any damage to people's homes. The whole reason we're on here is to give you an update to make sure you know and prepare in case damaging storms could arrive at your doorstep. Edward wants to know about a flood concern, and Edward, the answer is isolated flooding is possible. You know, it is moving quick, though. It's moving 40 miles per hour, these storms off to the east. There is a little bit more shower activity in parts of the hill country. There is a little bit of a flood concern there. That's why we have the flash flood warning in place here. But honestly, light to moderate rainfall behind the heavy rain, not as much of a concern because the heavy rain isn't falling for a long period of time. Now, if we had the heavy rain falling for a long period of time and then just had continuous light to moderate rain behind it, that's when we start to see a bigger threat for flooding. But because the heavy rain's moving through so quick, that's good news. And honestly, that light to moderate rain isn't going to the places where the long-term heavy rainfall occurred. Places like down towards Hondo, places like Atascosa County. You're going to have that possibility for a few showers, but it's not going to be as intense. Jeanette says, no hail in Poteet. Love that report. Thank you so much. Patrick said, I thought this was Central Florida weather. You know, Patrick, that is a good point. With how much lightning we're having, it is kind of like Central Florida weather, where you get those big, loud, noisy thunderstorms all the time. Well, we're just not seeing that right now. Just got notified of an aerial flood advisory for Atascosa County. And yeah, we got an area flood advisory just been issued for Atascosa and Frio County. That is until 2:45 a.m. So that just lets us know a lot of heavy rain is falling. Again, Atascosa County, that's where we're having some of the heaviest rainfall and the longer-term heavy rainfall. That aerial flood advisory lets us know that, hey, a lot of heavy rain is falling, and it's going to pool into all the creeks and rivers, and we could see some swollen creeks for a while. Not necessarily making it a major flood threat, but it's just, hey, areas that typically flood are going to be flooded over the next couple of hours. That's that little bit of an update for Frio and Atascosa County. Seeing if we got any more reports. I see Sandy Oaks in Bexar County. Train spotter has reported hail of a quarter-size inch, so that would be considered damaging hail. The severe thunderstorm warning, though, in Bexar County has expired. In the northern part of Bexar County, southern part of Bexar County, it continues. Seeing if we got more stuff in, guys. Just give me a second. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything important here. When is that severe, or the flash flood warning expire in Northeast Kendall? That Northeast Kendall County flash flood warning continues until 1:45, and I'll let you know why they've decided to continue that for that long. It's going to be this rain out behind it because you're going to get more light to moderate showers to just continue. So, yeah, we got that flash flood warning. That's the only major flood threat that we're watching for right now. Yeah, we got the aerial flood advisories, but the ones that we're going to watch more closely is the one in Kendall County. And honestly, let me check on the Guadalupe River real quick, guys, just to see how it's doing. I want to make sure that the river's not causing any concerns north of Canyon Lake. Looks like it's expected to crest at 4.4 feet. That's not much of a concern. That's well below flood stage. I'm checking all the rivers up here in Kendall County. Give me 1 second, guys. Checking the Blanco, staying below flood stage, not even going into the action stage, so no major concerns there. No major concern for the Blanco River near Fisher Store. Now it is expected to rise. The Blanco River near Fisher Store is expected to go from 4 feet to nearly 8 feet. That is still below flood stage. But it will rise. So if you're camping along the river, if you know anybody camping along the river, you may want to give them an update just to say, hey, make sure you're away from the edge of the river. Honestly, I'm sure nobody wants to be out camping in this anyway right now with how stormy it is. But if someone really wanted to rough it and is hanging out there by the river, they may want to go ahead and pack up and head a little bit higher if they are not above that extra 4 feet where the river could rise. Anything to watch for in shirts? 1 second, Kimberly. The answer is it's not too much of a concern up your way. Honestly, the strongest of the storms are moving through now. Maybe you've had some pea-sized hail a moment ago, but that's now moving out of the area. Still some heavy rain along the I-35 corridor. Rain is starting to lighten up a little bit over towards Hollywood Park. Sounds like it's starting to lighten up outside the station. We're in the medical center. So northwest side, things starting to quiet down just a bit. Still, that most intense storm is down towards Pleasanton. Atascosa County is where it's nastiest right now.
How are you holding up, Andrew?
Oh, doing good. Dude, we got Jack in the house, the man, the myth, the legend, news director. I haven't seen you in like more than a month.
See my live truck?
Your live truck was up?
Yeah, we had
Rats.
25 minutes.
Oh, I didn't get it brought up. But you know, did you see any hail out there?
No hail. High water on the roads. Bad accident. I-10 north of 1604 had inbound I-10 shut down.
Okay. So I-10 north of 1604, inbound to San Antonio, was shut down because of an accident. Just a heads up there. There are going to be issues on roadways. It's best to just stay where you need to be tonight. It's really wet. It's just going to stay wet throughout this evening. Remember, we could be dealing with rain even all the way up through 4 a.m. So the severe threats will start to quiet down for some areas. Tilden right now, getting the first round of the strong to severe storms. We have it, the heaviest of it moving through Pleasanton, strong to severe storms moving through Pleasanton, and then San Antonio, actually downtown and further to the northwest, it's about to start to get quieter. The strongest part of the storm is already through. So again, you just got to wait 30 minutes to an hour and then it's over. That is unless you're down in the more intense part, like our friends down towards Pleasanton. Pearsall finally quieting down. Pearsall was under this for a long period of time, and actually let's rewind this a little bit just to show y'all. Pearsall started to get it pretty good about 10:14 p.m. all the way until about, I'd say 11:30 is when it started to quiet down. It took them a really long time for things to quiet down. When will it slow down in Live Oak? Live Oak will probably see it slow down in about 30 minutes. Right now, you're in the thick of it. You've got a lot of lightning, some gusty winds, nothing severe over Live Oak, by the way, but a lot of heavy rain, strong winds likely, and maybe even some pea-sized hail. I see a question about Killeen. I want to answer that question for our neighbors off to the north in Bell County. The answer is Killeen is about to see the stronger part of the storm, and then things will quiet down after about 30 minutes. You know, if somebody chimes in from another part of the state, we'll sometimes take a look at it for them real quick. So nothing severe in Bell County. It doesn't mean that nothing could become severe, but we'll keep a close eye on for you as well for our neighbors up towards Bell County. Geez Louise, the wind in Seguin, it is here. Yeah, the stronger part of the storm just arrived in Seguin. Right now, from Schertz to Seguin, pretty covered up and a lot of lightning, some pretty noisy thunder, and also a lot of heavy rainfall. Messy roadways, by the way, on I-35. We just got a report that there was an accident on I-10 just outside the 1604 loop. That lets you know the roadway's not too safe right now. Do not travel out on the roads. Do not try to go find any flooded roadways. It's not worth it. Just stay where you are. Stay where you need to be for the rest of the night. After all, it's Friday night. It's late. Nothing good happens after midnight. Don't forget that. That's in 20 minutes, so you might as well be where you need to be for the rest of the night. So outside of San Antonio, off to the west and northwest, quieter conditions starting to settle in. You look south of the city, and that's when a lot of the lightning really starts to pick in. By the way, Lavernia, man, you've just had the stronger part of the storm move over you. Heavy rainfall, gusty winds, maybe even up to 40-mile-per-hour gusts possible for you, and also frequent lightning at times. So be on the lookout for that. Campbellton, it just arrived to your area. That's along the I-37 corridor, stretching down near 281. That's where we have another strong portion of the storm moving in for you. This is going to be a long ride for you, Campbellton. Just be ready. You're going to be under this for maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Let's see here. Brianna says, Jesus is busy bowling, strike after strike. Yeah, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder outside, making a lot of noise. Got a report of pea-sized hail in Pleasanton. I'm happy to hear that it's smaller hail. Let's go ahead and look at the hail tracker on our system here. Yep, looks like I see that pea-sized hail passing through. I'm glad that hail core shrunk before it hit Pleasanton, and I'm hoping it stays smaller. Trying to catch up on some of these questions that may be coming in. Can we zoom out so we can see the second storm? The answer is yes, but here's the thing. This is nothing severe back here. This is just rain. We're not seeing anything severe from this stuff. I'll even turn on lightning, get an idea. There's a little bit of lightning, but as far as anything severe, that's not an issue. That's all just plain old rain. And let me draw this line again. I drew this earlier. Anything behind this line, it's over. There's no more severe risk for you. I mean, it's going to get a lot quieter here over these next couple of hours. Let me get my other line on here. But you see this whole region here? It's going to be quieter. Actually, let me go ahead and see if I can pull up our severe thunderstorm watch graphic. You see the National Weather Service has trimmed back a few counties. You know, they're probably waiting to trim back another bulk of them. But, you know, I think I've noticed, too, they've actually extended the watch for some areas because some of these counties were supposed to have the watch end at 10 p.m., but now they're continuing all the way till 4 a.m., but I'm willing to bet they did that just because the line may have slowed down a little bit compared to what they thought, and I'm still thinking we're going to see that line trim back after these storms get further east of I-35.
Hey, I'm back, Andrew. Good to see you, brother. Great job. I'm going to try to hit up a few of these comments from off camera.
Okay.
Just so we can, of course, continue our practice of social distance here at Ken's 5. So we go back outside now then. I don't understand what that one is. My Uber Eats driver's mask.
Oh, is that Patrick?
That's Patrick.
Patrick has been on with us tonight. Shout out to Patrick. He's actually had a lot of humorous comments too.
That keeps us going, Patrick. That's awesome.
Tip your Uber Eats driver well.
Rocks, the possibility for tornadoes has ended. Yes. We had one storm, and it was hours ago. that did produce a tornado warning, and it was a short-lived warning. In fact, it was canceled. It was near La Pryor, which is out to the southwest of the city. So it was just a little bit of rotation, but most of these storms have been behaving as far as rotation is concerned, producing only small hail. I don't know if you've shown the latest storm report. I just had it up on the air. We've got several new storm reports of some hail in the San Antonio area. Not so much in the city, but off to the south, we had some hail near, now I'm forgetting what town, but it was definitely in Atascosa County.
Yeah, we did have
20 minutes ago.
Yeah, we did have Pleasanton. Pleasanton got a report of hail.
It was Pleasanton.
Of about pea size not too long ago. But we also had that possibility of maybe even up to golf ball size that radar was trying to show. But I think the largest report we got down there, wasn't it like 3/4 of an inch or something?
Yeah,
yeah.
Just about. Largest out there for the night has been 1-inch diameter size hail. All right, Janine wants to know about Floresville. It is bearing down on Floresville as we speak. If you're not getting heavy rain now, it's going to be very soon.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really right on your doorstep.
Yeah, you got a lot of lightning and hearing a lot of thunder. It's about 5 minutes before the heavy rain arrives, and you're probably going to deal with heavy rain and frequent lightning for about 30 minutes to an hour. So that's pretty much what most of us have been dealing with. The rain gets heavy and it stays heavy for 30 minutes to an hour. And honestly, you know, that storm, I mentioned it, was weakening as it was approaching Seguin, and it's picked back up. It's kind of pulsed back up a little bit. We got a lot of lightning for New Braunfels and into Seguin.
The good news, too, I'm checking the CPS outage map, Andrew, and we really haven't seen widespread outages. There are some, but as far as like multiple, as into the, you know, hundreds of customers, really not too bad.
Yeah, and we can actually pull that up full here. We're going to try to pull that up for you. But it's really surprising that we're not seeing that much. You know, there's a look at the outage map, and you can see it even shows the radar, the rain moving through. You know, the rain, you can see, is still pretty heavy in parts of Bexar County.
But for that not to be, you know, seeing the big, you know, red ovals, purple ovals, nothing that would indicate large, you know, multiple outings, this is a good sign.
And I'll run the radar back a little bit, and you'll notice, guys, that the lightning kind of calmed down as it came through the city, thankfully, in parts of Bexar County. You notice how
really
it calms down?
Look at that.
With the exception of southwest of San Antonio, of course. But it calms down, and now it's picked back up closer towards Seguin and New Braunfels. Elmendorf has a lot of lightning and heavy rain.
So, Sarah in New Braunfels, you are not under a warning, so the good news is you don't have to worry about hail, but heavy rain will continue for about another 15 minutes, and then you'll start seeing that rain let up quickly. This storm is exiting fast from west to east, so New Braunfels will see an improvement quickly. Jenny's losing power in southern Atascosa County, and she says this is the worst storm in a pretty long time. I believe it. I mean, look at that lightning, and it's just completely covering Atascosa County and into northern McMullen County.
Yeah, we were talking about it before it even arrived in Atascosa, and guys, we said, you know, that's going to be one of the stronger storms that we have continuing, and honestly, it's the strongest storm in the entire state right now. If I zoom out, you know, we got a severe thunderstorm warning up here towards Waco and McLennan County, but honestly, that storm I don't think is as strong as this one that we have in Atascosa County. I think it's the strongest storm in the entire state, and there's a lot of thunderstorms in Texas right now, so to say it's the strongest one, that's pretty impressive.
Ken's 5 fam checking in, our great colleague Jackson Floyd, the digital ninja that he is. CPS Energy is telling him 48 outages affecting about 7,700 customers.
Oh, wow.
So that's a little bit more than what I think is showing up on the outage
yeah,
map.
maybe we're not seeing the correct report on the outage map. So yeah, we have a lot of outages.
Yeah, 7,700 customers.
Yeah, that's a good amount, and I'm willing to bet a majority of that is actually on the south side of Bexar County, where all that lightning was.
It's got to be, right? And you can see for yourself just what kind of lightning this is occurring. And I just did a count on that. I just saw you do the same thing. The positive and negative strikes is a little concerning because they're about even. You know, typically it's all negative.
Yeah.
1785, and this is in the last 30 minutes, correct?
Correct, yeah. Well, 15 minutes, I believe.
This is 15-minute interval?
But yeah, this is, I mean, that's a significant amount of lightning.
Incredible.
That's like, now, you used to work down in, guys, Bill is just off screen here. You used to work down in Louisiana.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what that's like.
Oh, big time.
When you're down on coastal Louisiana. And those thunderstorms produce a ton of lightning, and same thing with like South Florida. I used to work in South Mississippi, it's similar. Here in South Texas, at least in this part of South Texas, it's not usually like this.
No, this is unusual. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll have lightning storms, but look at this. I mean, this is a potent line, and like you said, a little bit more of a coastal behavior than we would this far in.
Yeah, and it feels coastal outside. I mean,
Right.
we had dew points in the 70s today. It was humid. Meteorologist Megan Massey, of course, she's my fiance.
Uh-oh.
You know, we've talked about that before. Been together for 8 years. She
That's awesome.
went out for a run today. And
yeah?
she came home and she said it was miserable outside. I could only run a mile. She was going to go run she loves to take long runs, and she came home. She said I could only run a mile. It was extremely humid outside, and that humidity, that moisture in the air, has helped feed these thunderstorms to cause this heavy rain that we're dealing with.
That's why when this line moves east, it's moving into mid-70-degree dew points. I saw a Gonzales number at 76 this afternoon. That is just frightening. And so it's at least 70 in a lot of the communities like Floresville, Gonzales, Karn City, Cuero. And with that kind of moisture waiting for this line, what you see now is definitely going to hold together.
Yeah, and there it is. I mean, check out the difference in dew points in areas where it's rained compared to areas where it hasn't yet. I mean, we got 50s to 60s in the hill country. We got 77-degree dew points in George West and Beeville.
77.
That is South Louisiana dew points right there.
It really is. I mean, that's like snap your fingers and you get a little isolated shower.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just incredibly high. I mean, again, tropical. Port Lavaca today was 78. It's down to 74 now, but that's a coastal number. I mean, so,
Goodness.
you know, we've dropped to 62. That's the lowest I've seen, I think, all week. I mean, we've been really high. And with this kind of thunderstorm activity, this kind of amount of rain, you have to have a drop in dew point. Mid-50s, like you said, over at Rock Springs is significant. But remember that we're not changing air masses. I mean, this is not a cold front. This is an upper level disturbance that will maintain a lot of the atmospheric condition. I mean, we're going to zap the atmosphere a lot of its energy. That's the good news. These kind of severe storms will definitely take out a lot of that potential energy that we talk about. But there's still going to be some rain. Look what's happening around Kerrville, down through Bandera and into Hondo. These are just some back-building showers, and some of those yellows showing up are going to be decent downpours. And you also see a good smattering of lightning across the hill country. Not the thickness that, of course, has on that line, but there's still a significant amount of lightning back across the hill country.
Yeah, so expect a lot of noise tonight, and it'll be good sleeping weather after the severe weather passes through.
And don't forget to, now we got a whole new reconfigured watch until 4 a.m.
I just saw this update from the National Weather Service. They just expired the severe thunderstorm watch for basically everybody west of I-35. Now, that's the exception of areas along it. You know, the hill country, most of the hill country is done. We're looking at Medina County, Uvalde, Bandera, Kerr, Kendall, Blanco, all those counties westward, it's over. You know, you just got some noisy showers and storms still moving through, but the worst of it is through, and you can go to bed.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And then sleep soundly.
Yeah.
It should be nice. One of the things, with all that lightning, we're going to have some green grass. Don't forget that what happens with a lot of this lightning, it supercharges your lawns. It's like a good steroid. Those nitrates that come down with lightning definitely supercharge the lawns. Of course, the rain helps a ton, yes, but it's not just the rain that's going to keep that grass green. It's also going to be all that lightning.
Yeah, and here's when you're going to get a chance to do the lawn. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, honestly, Sunday is only a 20% chance for rain.
Yeah, just an isolated shower Sunday.
We're going to see that grass grow big time.
Exactly. Yeah. And Saturday afternoon, I would not be surprised. The model that has just been nailing this forecast is the HRRR, does show a line of showers developing tomorrow in daytime heating. Because again, without a complete change in air mass and holding on to some of those higher dew points, we could still see some daytime heating showers. All right, there's a new warning on the map, Andy.
Yeah, Karnes and Wilson County now under severe thunderstorm warning until 1 a.m. This storm is making its way off to the east. I'm willing to bet it's still keeping that 40-mile-per-hour pace. Kennedy, and this is included in this warning. Areas just west of Cuero are included in this warning as well.
This is the spot now, guys, between Kennedy and Cuero, what you're looking at on your screen, where we had upwards of 5 to 6 inches of rain just 48 hours ago. So with this kind of line moving in, rainfall rates of about 2 to 3 inches per hour, you can be guaranteed we're going to have some flooding concerns for Karnes and DeWitt counties. Hopefully this storm line continues its pace, which is about 30 miles per hour. But if it slows down any more, we could really have a big problem on our hands.
We good to go, fellas?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Good to go. Jack Acosta,
Call me if you need me.
you got
Excellent.
it.
I'll put the live truck up on Facebook on the way home.
All right, excellent.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
we'll pull it up.
Okay.
Do you know what it's going to be on, Jack? Jack,
What's up?
do you know what source it is?
It'll be on Facebook, but I don't know how that sources over into your system.
I may be able to still pull it up.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, we'll try to pull up. Jack's going to have a live camera
I'm going to take Periscope.
and route it through his Facebook.
I guess I could use the TV.
And when he was driving in, I was talking to him just a minute ago off camera before I came in here. Some significant ponding on 10, had an accident on I-10.
Yeah.
Because once again, and he said, somebody passed me, they had to be doing 80, 85 miles an hour.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
people gotta
just
take it
fascinating
slow.
to me
Yeah.
that people will still drive as if it's a, dry Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, hey, nothing good happens after midnight.
Right, nothing. Dude.
Like, guys.
Well, we're still
That's-
just 4 minutes of good.
Yeah,
And then
well,
everything
yeah.
bad's gonna start happening.
Yeah, guys, just go home. That's
Get
be,
going. You got
be
three-
like our news director.
You got about
Yeah,
3
get home.
minutes. Yeah, you got 3 minutes.
So again, much
Oh,
of
look,
it.
Patrick. Oh, Jack is still there. Oh no, we have to be super good. Don't want to get in trouble.
I pulled it up on the TVU app
Okay.
live now, so just don't let me know you can see the signal.
Do you know what
8.
8? Got it. Excellent.
Dennis Jordan, absolutely. The rain air smell after this. That is always good. I know exactly what you mean, Dennis. I love the smell of the rain. Tim Foley with Jack FM. I think I heard lightning is also good for the ozone. You're correct, Joseph. Every lightning strike creates ozone, okay? There's natural occurring ozone with lightning. Now, it's not the exact same ozone as the ozone layer, so it's not going to be a, one for the other. Like when you see the lightning, we're replenishing the ozone layer. Really not a direct connection with that, but it does create good ozone. Zoom out just a bit. Yeah, we just did that for you, Patty. Hope you see that now. How strong is the wind in Floresville? Not there, but you have a job site there. Janine wants to know about winds in Floresville. So they're going to really start picking up now that the storms are moving in from the west. So between Elmendorf and Floresville, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. Now we're looking at some velocity and seeing whether or not the gate-to-gate shear's showing up.
Yeah, it looks like maybe you're probably having sub-severe thunderstorm winds in Floresville, but there could be a gust of up to 60 miles per hour.
So we can probably bank on about a 40 to 50 mile per hour wind. I wouldn't say sustained, but definitely 20 to 30 mile per hour winds sustained along this line with these storms. And then, like you say, an occasional gust pushing 60 is not out of the question.
And guys, here's some good news for anybody west of I-35. There may still be a severe thunderstorm watch in place for your county, but if you are west of I-35, the severe risk is over. So
Patrick,
if you're east of I-35, it may continue for you, though.
Patrick is pretty funny.
He is.
No
Hey.
playing Angry Birds 2 while driving. No, never. How many?
That time again.
It's that time again. Okay, I got to
Okay.
head to the studio. Brianna White, what's happening? We'll be sitting outside when this passes Pleasanton. I don't know if I'm
Oh, yeah,
well,
after it passes, yeah.
Good
Okay,
idea.
yeah, after it passes, but you know what? You will have a few lingering lightning strikes possible. So if you're going to be in Pleasanton, just a heads up, if there's still lightning in the area, please just make sure you don't go outside. I want to make sure everyone stays safe. So guys, I'm going to pull up something else too. I want to make sure we have, and you know what? Jackson Floyd behind the scenes, he made sure that he already routed Jack's live camera shot in. So there's a live look at some of the wet roadways. We're going to keep that up just below me. You can see the water on the roads. Now this is northwest San Antonio where things have actually already quieted down a bit, but I'm willing to bet as he drives along, we're going to continue to see a lot of lightning strikes out there because, I mean, these storms are just really electric. There you just saw it on the screen. We're going to continue to see a lot of lightning strikes from all of these storms that are off in the distance. So it looks beautiful from a distance, but of course you want to make sure you stay inside when these pass through. All right, so I've had a lot of questions today about Floresville. When is it going to arrive? And the answer is it's there now. A lot of lightning. Within the past 15 minutes, let's take a look about how much lightning we've been dealing with. About 330 lightning strikes. That's a small area that we're talking about too. These storms have been electric. I think that the strongest of the storms and the most electric storm has really been Atascosa County, where we have had a just ridiculous amount of lightning. The lightning continues there too. More than 1,000 lightning strikes in 15 minutes. So these thunderstorms are extremely, they've got so much energy in them. And with that, a lot of moving air, you can have a lot more in the way of lightning strikes. And that's what we're seeing right there. You see a lot of wet roadways in the screen below me. You see a little bit of lightning every once in a while into the sky. You just saw it there again. Again, guys, super wet conditions on the road. You can see it, the lights just shining down on the road. A few people out on the roads themselves. Best to try to get home whenever you can. If you're in San Antonio, it's starting to be a little bit safer to drive, but please take it easy on the roadways. Know that the low water crossings could still, wow, that was a good lightning strike. I don't know if y'all just saw that one. That was a really good one that just shined across the screen. But yeah, a lot of heavy rain and still some lightning in the area. So Floresville, strong winds right now. Hail not as much of a concern. You know, it's been a while since we looked at hail cores. Let's pop those up. Still not seeing any major issues with hail. Likely pea-sized hail about to move through Floresville. We still have pea-sized hail just north and east of Campbellton. We still have about pea-sized hail to maybe walnut-sized hail that just crossed I-37 just south of Campbellton. By the way, Weather Chief Bill Taylor is on TV right now. So those who sometimes ask, where did Bill go? Don't worry, he's on TV right now giving an update on KENS 5. He'll be back here again here in just a moment. The thunder in Jourdanton is actually louder now than it was 20 minutes ago. Man, that's amazing because y'all had a lot of strong storms pass through earlier. Still a few storms passing through your region though. Things are starting to dry up near Rock Springs. We see drier conditions near Brackettville, Del Rio, Uvalde drying up. Still rain, though, for our friends in Kerrville, stretching into Fredericksburg, and still rain in Blanco County, where they've already had a lot, as well as down towards Comal County. Let's check the local storm reports again, see if there's anything new. Looks like we've got thunderstorm wind damage now being reported in southern Bexar County, northern Atascosa County. That is going to be from 2-foot diameter trees were blown down over roads. So large trees have been blown down in southern Bexar County, northern Atascosa County. So this is the Sandy Oaks area. So we've had some really strong wind move through. And guys, I'm going to plug in my phone real quick. I've been trying to keep it as charged as possible so I can answer some of y'all's questions. Brian wants to know, how much rain is the storm dropping? Brian, the answer is anywhere from 1 to 3 inches in an hour. So really heavy rainfall. And that's what we've seen across the majority of the areas, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. Actually, let me go ahead and pop up the latest on the observed precipitation, at least radar estimated across our region. Give it a little bit of a zoom out here. You can see some of these areas in blue, they have seen less, maybe up to an inch in the blue. But you see when we start seeing these green colors, we're talking about widespread inch, 2.5 inches in some spots. Some spots maybe even nearly 3 inches. So that's been a lot of rainfall. Some of these spots are still seeing rain, like Outage County. This is just the last 12 hours, so as storms moved in. Heavy rain has been an issue in some areas, and it continues to be an issue as it passes through the region. We still have lingering showers in Kerrville, too. That's just adding to the amount of rainfall they've seen. The showers not as heavy as earlier, but definitely still seeing some rainfall. Still hearing the thunder outside of the station, too. Let's see here. Sandy Oaks is close to us, Leanne says. Well, Leanne, I hope you didn't have any damage down towards your area. Tim says Facebook over TV. I'm glad you're enjoying the update. Patrick says, Jack, stop speeding, please. It's Tokyo drift weather. I think Jack's doing a pretty good job at taking it slow. But you can see why he's taking it slow. You see how wet the roadway is. So he's traveling along I-10 right now. He's hopping on I-10, rather, I think, and heading off towards the northwest side of San Antonio. And you can see this is just outside the medical center. You see how wet that road is, man. And the rain is still coming down. I mean, it's still raining outside. It's not as heavy as what it was, but still a lot of rain happening in San Antonio. So Tilden right now under a severe thunderstorm warning. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning. It's for Live Oak, McMullen counties. You see it's stretching southeast of Cotulla as well. We have a lot of heavy rainfall, some strong wind. I want to get an idea. We haven't really looked at hail down here too much. We get an idea to make sure we don't have any damaging hail for our neighbors down to the south. Doesn't look like it. Looks all pea-size. The main risk with these storms is going to be the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's been the main risk with nearly all of these storms tonight, is that risk of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And we've had that in some areas. We had 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts reported in Cotulla. So when these storms went through Cotulla, they were pretty significant. The main risk with this storm, I'm checking with the National Weather Service, this is actually coming out of this severe thunderstorm warning, is from our Corpus Christi office. So we get updates from the San Antonio Austin office. We also get them from the Corpus Christi office just to our south. And 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, penny-size hail. Penny-size hail is not an issue, but 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts would be. So that's the reason why they severe warned that storm. The storm off to the north of that, that's impacting Atascosa County into Karnes County, Wilson County. That storm has the possibility of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Now, quarter-size hail could be a bit of an issue, but right now those storms are not producing that, it appears on radar. In Bexar County, the stronger part of the storm really starting to move off to the south and east. You know, we've had a few questions earlier on about when is it over for Seguin. In about 10 to 15 minutes, things are going to start to quiet down there. Jenny says, my property is flooding. How much longer before this is out of southern Atascosa County? My power is just not wanting to stay on. Jenny, let's check that out right for you. So, here we are, southern Atascosa County. Let me put it on pause again. All right, so if you are southwest Atascosa County, it's already starting to quiet down. Now, here's the problem. You're going to be left with light to moderate showers over the next few hours. So, Jenny, just a heads up, you may see your property stay kind of flooded here, maybe for the next hour or two before the rain really starts to stop completely. But the heavy stuff is out for the most part. You have a few lingering heavy showers here and there, but Jenny, it will start quieting down soon. Let's see, what about Petite, Texas? Things are starting to quiet down at Petite. So nothing too serious in Petite, quieter weather starting to move through for your family members, Rocky. So Dennis says, y'all got too much rain. Feel free to send it my way. Let's see here. Dennis says, should have left my car outside of the garage, would have gotten a free car wash. Mother Nature is giving us all a free car wash right now if our cars are outside, that is for sure. Really heavy rainfall moving through. I'm happy we haven't had the larger hail. You know, that threat was going to be there, but the threat for large hail was smaller. It wasn't as high. Remember, that main risk that we've been talking about for a while was damaging wind gusts. That was the main threat. And we've had more damaging wind gusts than we have had large hail. So we're pretty much on point there. Still a lot of lightning from Jack's weather truck. I mean, we've got a lot of lightning out there. We also had the isolated tornado possibility. We had one tornado warning. So far, no confirmed damage from that. That was located closer towards the Pryor. So still watching that possibility for an isolated tornado, but really low, extremely low risk. This is mainly a straight line wind threat with these storms for the rest of tonight. Gonzales, I had a lot of questions about Gonzales earlier. The storms right on your doorstep. You got about 15 to 30 minutes before the storms arrive in your area. Jessica says it is bad in Floresville right now. Yeah, Floresville is getting the brunt of it at the moment. Pretty much the worst of the storm that you're going to experience is going through Floresville right now. Guys, I'm going to snag some water real quick. I've been talking now since 6:30. We took less than a 5-minute break. We've been on for nearly 6 hours, so give me a quick break here. All right. Yeah, but Floresville, definitely getting the thick of it. Damaging wind is going to be the main thing that you're going to deal with. A lot of lightning in the atmosphere right now. A lot of lightning around Floresville. But a majority of the lightning for our friends in Campbellton, Three Rivers, seeing a lot of strong wind likely right now, some heavy rain, and also frequent lightning in Campbellton. Man, they've got the bulk of it at the moment. 674 lightning strikes just in the past 15 minutes. Tilden, you're getting a good amount, but things are going to start to quiet down. Fowlerton, definitely seeing the back end of things now as things will start to quiet down for you. Southeast of Cotulla, still covered up in lightning and a lot of heavy rain. I'm going to turn lightning off for a second, guys. That way we can see the storms a bit better. Still heavy rain in southern Atascosa County. Jenny, I hope that it'll quiet down for you in a second. Very loud storm just woke me up in Stockdale. Just arrived in Pawnee. Now here's the good news, guys. I've been letting people know whenever the severe risk is over for them. If you are behind this line, really almost the I-35 corridor, but if you're behind this line in this direction, it's over. It's done for you. Now, you still got rain, you still got lightning, maybe even a bit breezy at times, but the severe risk for you is done. It's going to be a lot quieter the rest of tonight. So you're looking at good sleeping weather. A little bit of rain on the roof, a little bit of rumble of thunder in the distance, and you're going to be sleeping like a baby for the rest of the night. But those out ahead of this, areas like Victoria, you know, we talked about how it may not arrive to Victoria until 4 a.m. Well, you know what? Since these storms have held up their pace, it may make it to Victoria by 2 a.m. So areas like Victoria, you know, we still have that threat for severe weather, and that's just going to continue its way off to the east. Just hit Belmont. Heavy rain so far. No hail. Thank you. Thank you for all the weather info. No problem. You know, that is a great thing. If we can get just heavy rain, no damaging wind, no damaging hail, that's great, especially for the area where this rain is about to impact. And I say that because drought is still impacting our area. We still have severe to extreme drought in Maverick County. Check out Eagle Pass, you know, stretching almost all the way to Cotulla. We still have severe to extreme drought. Victoria, severe to extreme drought. This rainfall that we're getting now is needed bad. We need to push back that drought. Weather Chief Bill Taylor just a moment ago was on air. He was showing the aquifer, how it's at 662, I think, 0.4. But, you know, all this rain fell in the recharge zone. We're going to get that aquifer to go way up. We needed this rainfall, so it's good to see. Dennis says, not over. I'm in the green zone and still getting lightning strikes over here. Yes, Dennis, listen. You're still going to get lightning. You're still going to get some heavy rain, but the severe risk. I mean, we got lightning in the medical center. I can hear the thunder outside. I see the lightning flashing in the windows every once in a while. But as far as the severe risk is concerned, it's done. You know, I'll bring back up radar. We still got some rain behind that line. I mean, we got it right here on the radar. We still got lightning. I see that lightning too. And these are noisy storms. I can hear them. It looks like Jack has turned off for the rest of his drive, he's turned off the phone. But we appreciate, of course, all those reports. Send us your photos too. We'd love to share them. Earlier on this evening, we got a photo of a beautiful rainbow in Del Rio. Bill shared it on TV. It was a beautiful photo. Again, if you get any photos of anything, maybe some of the amazing lightning tonight, some amazing lightning shots, as long as you're being safe. Don't go outside if it's dangerous. But, you know, send them to us. We'd love to share them on air. But you see this area behind the main line? We still got lightning, but it's not severe risk, these storms behind the main line, west of I-35. So much quieter. Is there severe risk for Floresville? The answer is yes. You're under severe thunderstorm warning at the moment. This severe thunderstorm warning is expected to continue until 1 a.m. Damaging wind is possible. Hail, not as big of a threat. But you may have 60-mile-per-hour gusts in Floresville. Now, that's until 1 a.m. So here's the thing. The stronger part of the storm is about to be east of Floresville within the next 30 minutes. So you may get things to quiet down in just a moment. Bill, guess how long we've been on air?
Okay, this could be a record.
This could be a record.
What do you got?
Well, I mean, we took about a 5-minute break, but we've been covering this for about 6 hours.
We're hitting 6 hours straight. You are a machine.
We have had a stretch of severe weather here that has lasted longer than 6 hours.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, it really came in from west to east as scheduled. I mean, everything on that. You know, very impressed with the HRRR model nailing this. I mean, you know, just got a little behind, I think, on the line itself, but. Man, we cannot argue with it. Starting at about 6 o'clock, 6:30, we had our warning in Del Rio. Yeah,
it was. I think it was right at about. You were just about to do Maine weather, I think. So I think it was like 6:15, and we've had nonstop severe thunderstorm warnings in South Texas since 6:15. Now, here's the good news, guys. We're just chatting about stuff behind the scenes a little bit because it doesn't look like we're seeing anything too serious with these storms in Campbellton, Karnes City. Now, they still could have strong wind gusts, but hail's not a concern. Still a lot of lightning, though.
I want to go up just a touch. I was watching, as I just got off the air, what's happening in Gonzales. I think that's going to be our next warning if we get one. Crossing Highway 80, this little pocket right here north of Nixon and heading into Gonzales looks pretty impressive. Yeah,
it looks like we have some really heavy rainfall, and it does look like the hail course come up, and yeah, that would qualify as severe hail, golf ball size hail possible.
And speaking of which, I don't know if you've got the last time you looked at a storm report, but we've got a new high total, or high diameter size, I should put it that way.
Really? Where's that located?
Right there. See it? East, just near Seguin. It's going to be Marion. Nope, not that one. Let's see. Where was it? Was it the one?
Was it this one down here in South Bexar County? Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Sandy Oaks.
Sandy Oaks, 1.3. And I was trying to estimate. I mean, it's going to be a little bit larger than a golf ball, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Yeah. So
maybe
that's
not almost egg size.
Yeah, almost. I think our system calls it hen egg size.
Hen egg.
So that's a pretty. Let's run the radar back and see that at 11:39. Honestly, it doesn't look like radar picked it up very well. But
sure doesn't.
Yeah, it may have had a big hail spike there for a moment. And you know, that's not the only thing we had in Sandy Oaks. We had another storm report as well, where we had some thunderstorm wind damage. Yeah, you know, 2-foot diameter trees blown over on the road.
On the road there in the same area, yeah. So that's probably the worst that we've seen, certainly San Antonio area, because you see some other reports, but those are smaller hailstones that fell over Medina Lake as well as Timberwood Park.
Yeah, so, you know, two thunderstorm wind damage reports so far. Uvalde was one of them. The other one was Sandy Oaks. Uvalde had a report earlier on of tree limbs down and power lines down. And then we also had the report in Sandy Oaks, and that was likely from the same storm that just moved east, right there along Highway 90, and then kind of shifted south of 90 and passed through. That's the same storm that's moving through Floresville. So we had that question about Floresville.
Katie's talking about some hail outside of Poth, which is over there in Wilson County. That's going to be north of Floresville, closer to Nixon. So it was probably that cell there's Stockdale.
Yeah, we got some reports of some hail in Stockdale and some strong winds too. But yeah, it may have had a brief period of hail right there.
Courtney's reporting heavy rain, hail, and lightning. Where are you, Courtney? Let us know that location. Hail in Leesville. I know of Leesville, Louisiana, but where's Leesville, Texas? Is that going to be near Gonzales?
I saw a report. I saw someone asking about Kosciuszko, and I said, Kosciuszko? I had to think for a second.
Yeah, I don't know where.
There's a Kosciuszko, Mississippi.
Oh,
but
really?
I couldn't think of Kosciuszko.
I've never heard of it myself.
Texas.
Oh, south of Floresville, Katie says. Is that where Leesville is? 3/4 of an inch in China Grove and still raining. Poth is south of Floresville. Thank you.
Yeah, well, we just got it up on the map here a second ago, headed towards Karnes City. Right.
Okay,
right
there it is. So you can see, I guess it may have been that hail pocket we see near Falls City, but that probably didn't move through Poth.
Maybe
probably
right
some
there.
Small hail right there. There you go.
About midnight. 12:15 possibly. Let me go ahead and pull off storm reports. So we still have the warning that's been issued for stretching even down towards Live Oak and McMullen. So still a few more warnings out there that we're tracking across the region.
I wouldn't be surprised if that cell near Gonzales, it's coming into Gonzales from the west, goes severe.
Yeah, definitely. We've definitely seen a spike in hail there for a moment. And if we've got a spike in hail and we have a strong downdraft that could lead to some stronger winds.
Let me take a look at. Is chat up on here or where?
Oh, I've got it up
you have
right
it over
here.
there.
Yeah. DeWitt, Gonzales, Karnes, and Wilson County, all under severe thunderstorm warning. That's just that previous warning, though. But I wouldn't be surprised if they added a new warning off to the north. And let me see if they've added anything just more recently. The National Weather Service.
Leesville is south of Belmont, which is between Seguin and Gonzales. Okay. So right along that spot south, where that hail is just south of you on Highway 80, north of Nixon, where, again, that could be maybe a walnut or golf ball size hailstone in that. That's going to be the larger hail there.
Yeah.
Luling's also getting a little bit of hail.
So we've actually got a little bit of a report here coming from the National Weather Service. They're saying seeing indications of a possible wake low developing on the trailing edge of the stratiform precipitation shield. Both Uvalde and Hondo have reported pressure falling rapidly in the past hour, and winds have shifted and are gusting again over 40 miles per hour.
Wake lows are incredible. That's a really cool little weather phenomenon. Behind in the wake, just like it says, you get a rapid change in air pressure, and wind speeds will increase, and they can get really high. I mean, wake lows can produce winds of, hurricane force.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if you noticed the little bit of a nervousness in my voice. I've dealt with wake lows in the past. Hopefully this one wants to behave itself, but 40-mile-per-hour winds right now possible in Hondo and Uvalde. Again, the winds could still pick up in Bexar County tonight, so we're going to have to watch that really close. These wake lows can be hard to track. Sometimes it's a kind of, you notice it happen as it goes.
Let's see, we've got wind gusts, Burnett near 40. 25 at Uvalde right now, 33 at Hondo. And these are all north wind at Hondo at 33. Georgetown, 39.
Oh, wow. So the winds seem a little bit stronger to the north then.
Yeah, 38 at Austin, Marbury.
Burnett County, by the way, if you're not aware of where Burnett and Georgetown are, we're talking north and west of Austin. So Burnett County, which is where Burnett is, and then you have Georgetown, which is Williamson County. We're going to be watching that closely. And Bill, you were talking about that severe thunderstorm that you thought could have been issued. There it is.
Boom.
Yeah. That does include Gonzales, Yoakum, and it will continue its way east towards Hallettsville and Shiner. So that's going to be until 1:30 a.m.
Let me go make sure I get an updated crawl on Ken's 5 with that.
All right, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible, and possibly nickel-size hail. Trying to see if any, just lost electricity in my house in Belmont. Seguin off 90A near Auxiliary Airfield. Continued heavy rain, steady strong winds, no hail yet, thunder rolling now. Thank you for your report. Thank you so much, Jennifer. All right, so guys, again, severe thunderstorm warnings in parts of South Texas. These are going to continue here at least until 1:30 a.m. We have been live since about 6:30, bringing these updates. We want to make sure everyone stays safe and informed. We're going to continue to kind of show you where these storms are, where they're headed to. And we're going to stay on here until these storms really start to head out of the region. So that may be until 2, 3 a.m. even. Let's see the latest update on future clouds and radar. So this is the HRRR. Again, it overdoes it on the storms. We've been talking about that all night. Now, the timing is what we're watching here. But where you see the storms are really intense It's overdoing it. They're not going to be as intense as what it's trying to show. This is also behind a little bit. So that's the line that's already passed through. It's saying it'll be out of our region by about 4 a.m., but it's honestly behind by maybe about an hour. So maybe about 3 a.m. the storms will be out of our region, and then it will be a lot quieter outside. Jeremy says, how strong is that second storm to the west? Jeremy, the answer is, it's not that much of an issue right now. Right now, just heavy rain and a lot of lightning associated with it, but not too much of an issue. If you're talking about the one up towards Kerrville, because this really kind of, I mean, it's got some gust to it, but it's not too much of an issue. And honestly, I think I can see that little bit of a wake low trying to form. So I'm willing to bet they got really strong winds up towards San Saba County. That's going to be located right here. If it forms up there, that means that the stronger winds will stay in that region. We'll still have strong winds ourselves, but I think it'll be stronger off to our north. See what the National Weather Service is saying. 59-mile-per-hour wind gusts at the Kennedy Airport. So, yeah, that's pretty significant. That's Karnes County. That's going to be with those strong to severe storms that are passing through right now. The reason why that severe thunderstorm warning is issued to the south and east of Bexar County there. There is an aerial flood advisory for some of the counties we have there to the southeast due to the heavy rain that is falling. Southern Atascosa County finally getting a break. Jenny, I hope you're experiencing that. All right, Patrick, thank you for joining us. I hope you have a nice night of sleep. He's been on really all the way through our coverage here. Jenny says, I appreciate you staying with us. Thank you. No problem, Jenny. Power is out in Leeville. Patrick says, by the way, God bless Bill Taylor. I agree. I completely agree. Thunder still shaking the house in southeast Atascosa. Yeah, there's going to be some rolling thunder here as we head throughout tonight. It's really not going to quiet down for about another 2 hours for you in Atascosa County, maybe even 3 hours. Just a few lingering rumbles of thunder there. All right, so we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning issued, and this is really starting to move out of the Ken Spot viewing area. You see Beeville, Goliad, still under that severe thunderstorm warning, so still kind of hanging on the edge of our viewing area. This is starting to move just a little bit outside, but some of these areas are still included in the Ken Spot viewing area. It's kind of right on the edge. This severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 1:15 a.m., so about 45 minutes on that one. And this storm, let's get the latest data on it. It is moving off towards the east at 35 miles per hour, so a little bit slower than what the storms were moving at earlier. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail possible with that storm. Kimberly wants to know, is there another wave of storms scheduled to come through in the early morning hours? And the answer is no. Now, we may have some lingering showers and storms, but as far as the severe risk, not expected. Should be fine, Kimberly. Oh, did not mean to highlight that. Atascosa County, finally getting a little bit of a break. It's still raining, it's still some thunder, but man, Atascosa County just went through the ringer when it comes to thunderstorms. We had quite some strong thunderstorms move through there. Gonzales still under the severe thunderstorm warning. Weather Chief Bill Taylor back in the house.
You don't need a breather, man?
Oh man, I may take one in a moment, but
you really should. I'm ready to relieve you for a little while, man, so you could take a break.
all right. You know what? I got some pizza sitting in that fridge
Get
in the
some
back.
fresh air. Oh, there you go. I bet
Yeah.
you got to get some food in.
But you know what? Dinner pizza is about to become breakfast pizza because it's 12:30 in the morning. So,
right?
guys, I'm going to pass it off to Bill Taylor here for a second.
You got it, man.
He's going to continue to track these storms. And, again, severe thunderstorm warnings out there for areas south and east of San Antonio. And I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah,
so
no,
what am
no,
I? I'm
more
on.
than a moment. Take some time,
Okay.
man.
I'm on.
The great Andrew
Lot
Wilson,
2, right?
pushing about 6 straight hours of coverage. Thank you, my brother. Way to go. Way to keep people safe. All right, so we've got warnings down to the east and southeast of the city. So again, the best news that I can report is that the severe threat is over for San Antonio. But I will say this, you can see some decent rain falling across the north side. And when we spoke to some of our crews that came in on I-10, there was some significant ponding. We're not going to have to worry about that by Saturday morning unless that rain is just steady through the overnight. Now, of course, with Saturday means a little bit more road travel, so keep that in mind. I want to keep Facebook open, make sure I'm seeing y'all's comments. Not that guy. Let's see, where are we here? Okay. Make sure that's off, and let's get on and talk to y'all. That's what I love about the Facebook is the feedback. So we can at least answer some questions. And some of you have been keeping us nicely entertained as well. Talk to y'all. All right. So I'm going to kill this audio as well. I thought that was off there. It wasn't. Okay. Patrick. Nice. He came back. His sixth sense told him that it was going to happen. We love Bill Taylor. Is that an actual website? Are you starting up the website? The Bill Taylor Fan Club, Patrick, president? Yes, this is live, Lauren. Absolutely. And so we're looking at live radar, as a matter of fact. And I want to take this up full so you can see what we're dealing with. So the hail size in and around Gonzales, this is going to be where we see larger hail. Some of those hail cores, I think it's been a little bit off, to be honest with you, because what we look at are estimates basically from the computer. And these are going to be algorithms that are using formulas in order to determine an estimated hail size. They've been incredibly low most of the night. It's not to say that it's, going to be too far off reality. We would definitely see some brighter colors in that hail tracker area south of the 97 highway sign. We should see brighter blues if that was going to be a dangerous hail size. But it's definitely going to be, I would say about an inch in diameter at the most. That's been the history of these storms. We're not expecting anything too much larger than that. So let's take this storm and see what we've got. It's moving east at 40 miles per hour. That is great news because the faster it moves, the less of a flood threat that we're going to deal with. So if we take this east at 40 miles per hour, we've got it through Gonzales at 1242, so over the next 5 to 6 minutes. Cheapside, 1250. Dilworth, 1257. And there's Shiner, Texas, hitting at about 106. So still a good 30 minutes before it would reach Shiner. If you want to get your car under something or cover it, not a bad idea. You've got time. Patrick is living for Bill Taylor. Thank you, Patrick Foley. Came here from Odessa, and wow, awesome people, awesome culture, incredible place. I love it. Finally found home. Dennis, welcome to San Antonio, brother. It is the best. I've been here 24 years, and I absolutely love it. It is just a phenomenal place. So here are the cities in the path of what is the best hail on the radar right now. And you've got it into Yoakum at 112, Whitting at 118, Hallettsville 127, Kinkler 133. And I'm going to tell you that I expect this storm to hold together and at least produce that 1-inch size hail through these communities because the moisture out there to the east has been insane. I mean, we had Gonzales dew points in the mid-70s all day long. Dew points are falling nicely from west to east right now, because we've gotten this rain through and the atmosphere stabilizing. But we were just reading about the formation of a wake low. So this is a weather phenomenon in the wake of an area of low pressure. It'll be a little swirl. Well, let me put this in motion. At least let's go 4 hours of data. Okay. So if you look up around Kerrville, on the last part of that loop where you'll see a little bit of a swirl, not real well defined. It's really hard to pick out in that reflectivity. But you'll see a little bit of a spin right in there, okay? That's the wake low forming behind the storms. So what happens is you get a completely different change in air pressure. And it's such a rapid change that you get a good, what's called tight pressure gradient. And that's going to be a quick, or I should say a rapid decrease, or in some cases increase of air pressure in a small area. And that produces high winds. So essentially that's all that we're talking about, is high winds that are produced in the wake of that line. And that wake low, they've been known to produce winds of 65, 70 miles per hour. Not that that's the case. In fact, let's, we can take a look at the wind speeds. Let me get an update here from Kerrville and see what we're getting. Last report from Kerrville was about 16 miles per hour to the northwest. So that could rapidly increase, but we're several minutes removed from that observation, because that was a midnight reading. So 36 at Burnett, but again, these are about 40 minutes old. So it could be a lot different now in Kerrville. But I'm trying to see, you can really you can see what I'm talking about with that little swirl, that wake low forming. But look at all the warnings heading towards Victoria, Goliad, and the Texas coast. They're overlapping down there south of Atascosa County into Three Rivers, Tilden. So the Corpus Christi office is going to be pretty busy as these storms roll in from the west. You can see sizable hail between Laredo and Corpus Christi. Even better than what we're seeing near Gonzales. So yeah, the Gonzales warning, the storms are moving east at about 40, and nickel-size hail with those wind gusts reaching 60 miles per hour. Yoakum, Hallettsville, Shiner, Smiley. I showed you that storm track, all in the path, and you still have some time in most cases if you want to cover the vehicles. But this is a fast-moving storm. Look at how quickly now we're already bearing down on Gonzales. And it looks like the heaviest rain pocket and the hail core that's most impressive will be off to the south of Gonzales and could be impacting Hallettsville more than anyone else. So let's stop that where it is and move this east at about 40, right inside that polygon, the leading edge of it. East-southeast, right there, 40 miles per hour. So we've got it at Shiner 103, so it's actually picked up a little bit of speed.
Bill Taylor, it's almost time. Bill Taylor, it's almost time.
Okay, you probably heard that. Bill Taylor, it's almost time. Bill Taylor, it is almost time. Now, was that Ray Silver or was that the Lord?
Is there a difference?
A big difference. And if it's the Lord, that means I'm going home. Going home to glory. Time has come. Wouldn't it be something if it was an audible warning like that?
Yeah,
from the big guy?
And it's like, oh, well.
All right, so let me go, unless you want to go handle the TV? Or you want me to? I'm wired up. Let me go ahead. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's your mic there. Okay, I will leave my mic on the left so we don't confuse the two.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Now I toss things over to Andrew Wilson.
Back after
We got about, what,
some
a
breakfast
7-minute
pizza.
break?
Hey, I got some breakfast pizza in me, man.
All right, good. Now you're good to go.
All right, guys. We're right back. Tracking this strong to severe storm that's traveling through Hallis. Oh, yeah. Turn me up. I'm on 2. Thanks.
You're good.
Sorry, guys. Well, still tracking these storms move through. You see Yoakum, Whitting, Hallettsville, Kinkler, Sublime, all areas where this storm is going to be moving through. Guys, it's just been a night of strong to severe storms. We've been tracking it for days, and here it is. You know, we were talking about this really even Monday and Tuesday. We were talking about how Saturday was going to be wet. You know, it ended up being Friday night into Saturday. Excuse me real quick. But Friday night into Saturday, it ended up being kind of more of an overnight event. And we're still dealing with a lot of these storms. So let me go ahead and pull up Facebook again. I want to make sure I can answer some of y'all's questions. Bill Taylor alert. Patrick's back on. And Patrick, I thought you had hopped off. It's good to see you back. Kristen Collins says, the hail was insane. Kristen, if you could tell me where that was, please let me know. But yeah, we've had some areas that have seen some insane hail, while other areas, well, they didn't see any. It was a little bit on the quieter side. The heavier rain right now, kind of east and southeast of San Antonio. You see it especially along I-37, southeast of Pleasanton, making its way down towards Mathis. Beeville getting pretty much covered up. George West getting pretty covered up in rain right now. Bill Taylor just came over the speaker, said that there is a wind gust in Hondo now of 43 miles per hour. All right, so Bexar County, that's important to know. The wind is going to pick up here in San Antonio in a moment. That is going to be because of the wake low that we've been talking about. That's coming in behind some of these showers and storms that we're having right now. I'm trying to see the latest from the National Weather Service. Give me just 1 second, guys. Not seeing anything else. They are talking about there how they're continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for DeWitt, Gonzales, and Karnes County. No surprise there. Again, that's where some of our stronger storms have been passing through. Still a severe thunderstorm warning for areas east of I-35 and I-37. Had a pretty good lightning strike just outside the station here just a moment ago in the medical center. I don't know if you can still hear the rumbling of the thunder on the mic, but pretty good. Getting it hard in Kennedy. Yeah, Kennedy actually had a wind gust of 59 miles. I think it was 59 miles per hour just a moment ago. Reported, yeah, 59 mile per hour wind gust reported in Kennedy. So, yeah, they've got some really strong winds down that way. How much longer in Leesville? The answer is about maybe 30 minutes of the really heavy stuff. Landon says, really appreciate the incredible up-to-date information for all of us viewing. Great job explaining this system. Landon, no problem. This is literally what we do for a living. We keep people informed and safe from some of the strong to severe storms. This is why we're here. No hail in Luling. Lots of rain and lightning. I think the worst of it has passed. The answer is yes. The worst of it has started to move a little bit more to the east of your area. I mean, still a little bit over you, but the worst of it is still to the east, and honestly, the worst of it has stayed kind of more to your southeast. You kind of missed out on some of what the worst it could have been. Courtney says, is the high wind coming this way? And the answer, Courtney, is yes. We could see some stronger wind here as we head into the next few hours. It may not even rain. That's the thing. With the wake low, we may not even get any rain. We may just get a lot of stronger winds. And then also possibly a little bit of lightning still outside. I'm seeing a little bit of it out there through the windows. See, it's starting up again close to Nixon. Yep, we still got a little bit of it out there for you. I mean, you're not completely done yet. You may have gotten a short break, but more storms still coming through. But then it's going to quiet down here pretty soon. Don't worry. This next bit is going to be a lot shorter than the first round. You may get about 5 to 10 minutes. Notice this little bit of a swirl. Watch this. Man, that one shook the building. It's got some pretty good thunder outside. See that swirl? That's that wake low. And the wind's kind of curling around right here. So, yeah, we're going to have some gusty winds here through San Antonio. You know, some of the weather models, we're picking up on this just a bit. And, yeah, we're definitely going to get this. Just some strong gusty winds here over the next few hours. It's going to be through Hondo, and then it's going to pick up here in San Antonio here in Bexar County in just a moment. You can kind of see the winds. I want you to notice the end of the loop here. Let me see if I can slow this down. So watch right here at the end of the loop. You see that swirl right there? Continues, the wind pushing at the end of the loop. So yeah, that's going to be that wake low pushing the winds together. And that's going to be one of the reasons why we have maybe up to 40 to 50 mile per hour winds behind this system. So maybe some really strong winds, not necessarily severe winds, but some strong winds behind this system. We've already had some reports in Hondo of wind speeds up to 43 mile per hour gusts. That's what Bill was saying just a moment ago. So yeah, we got some stronger winds still passing through the region. Still the severe thunderstorm warnings in place. Karnes County covered up in a lot of lightning, heavy rainfall, strong winds possible. Let's see the latest on the hail. I know a lot of people have had questions about that. Not seeing as big of an issue with hail. Still not the biggest issue of the day. The biggest issue of the day has been the stronger winds, but still a little bit of hail as well. So this system is just crazy how it's held together for so long. Yeah, Jenny, it's quite a system that's passing through right now. So we've got severe thunderstorm warnings until 1:15 a.m. I see for Beeville area. Karnes City is until about 1:15 a.m. Till 1 a.m. there for Karnes City. And then we have the Gonzales and Hallettsville one that is going to be until 1:30 a.m. So it looks like these storms will really start to move out of the Kents 5 viewing area, maybe closer towards 2 a.m. That's when things are going to quiet down. Still going to have that possibility for strong winds associated with the wake low, but it shouldn't be as big of an issue. Just really windy conditions could cause a few power outages. And I'm not seeing any more questions coming in right now. Can Seguin's expect another wave of wind and rain? The answer is light to moderate rain and maybe gusty from the wake low possibility, but nothing severe for Seguin. I'm seeing no damage at this time in DeWitt County. That's good to hear. All right. We still got rain here in northwest San Antonio. I can hear it outside. I see a question about Corpus Christi. What about Corpus? The answer is maybe in about an hour you could see some strong to severe storms pass through. It's taking its time to kind of make its way towards Corpus Christi. And honestly, I think you could see some damaging wind and some large hail possible in parts of Corpus, but not the whole city. So areas further to the south may actually miss out on this. You see, that's the tail end of it, kind of making its way down towards your region. Not many severe thunderstorms left in the state of Texas. We've got the lone ones left. They're all south of I-10, and they're pretty much all in the Kents 5 viewing area with the exception of a few down closer towards Laredo. Jennifer says, thanks, bunches, no problem. I just answered that question about Corpus Christi just a moment ago. Yeah, it could get a little bit bad, maybe some damaging wind, maybe some large hail. The stronger of the storms, notice that new severe thunderstorm warning just west of Corpus. Could take about an hour to 2 hours for it to arrive in Corpus, though. So we are getting closer and closer to seeing the another severe thunderstorm warning expire. Right? So we're about 4 minutes out from the one for Karnes City. See, thank you, no problem. Looks like Stockdale is finally on the back end of the storm now. Amber, you are. How about the Round Rock area? Still a pretty good storm up towards your way. I've been watching those storms closely. You know, Round Rock is going to get a little bit quieter now, but man, you had quite a storm move through earlier on. Again, that is outside the Kents 5 viewing area, but we love to check on the weather for our neighbors. I used to live not too far from Round Rock. Before I moved to San Antonio, I lived in Georgetown. I drove through Round Rock every day because I actually worked in Austin. Great town up there. Just between Austin and Georgetown is the town of Round Rock. So I'm checking hail out a bit. Not too much of a concern. Maybe a little bit of hail headed closer towards Cuero, but not too large. Maybe about pea-sized hail headed towards Cuero. Again, hail was a little bit larger earlier on, especially closer towards Gonzales, but it really kind of faded away in the timeline there. Let's put lightning back on, get an idea about how much lightning strikes we currently have. Still a ton of it out there. I mean, these are electric thunderstorms. All right. So possibility of some stronger winds behind this, guys. Let me go ahead and pull up the current winds. So there's that 23 mile per hour wind in Hondo. That's sustained wind, by the way. Really strong winds there. That's actually not gusts. But that lets you know we got some strong wind associated with this wake low that's going to be moving through. That's going to move through San Antonio here within the next probably hour and a half. Are we getting more rain in May than what we've had in previous years? The answer is not exactly. It depends on where you are. For San Antonio itself, we're still behind. Now, maybe not after today. The rainfall in this graphic does not include the rain that fell today. So this graphic will update tomorrow with the rainfall that we had today. Get a better idea about how much we've had. I think we're still going to be below our May average. We could use a little bit more rain, but we just don't want it all at once. Some areas have been getting it all at once today, like Atascosa County. If we could just get our rain in good increments, that's the best that we can do. Nancy wants to know, is it going to rain tomorrow? The answer is we do have a 30% chance for showers and storms. The rain chances are lower, but they are still there. So not expecting widespread rain, but you do have a chance for a brief shower or storm, mainly in the morning. By the afternoon, not so much. So we had another severe thunderstorm warning canceled. Karnes City and Kennedy. Kennedy got really nasty for a while. Honestly, you still got pretty stormy conditions where you're at. But Kennedy and Karnes City no longer under severe thunderstorm warning. The stronger part of the storm to your east, you're just left with heavy rain and also a good amount of lightning. Now I want to know also, have they trimmed back any of the severe thunderstorm watch? We have had much of these storms shift east. Looks like they're waiting to trim back the line along I-35, but honestly, the severe threat in Bexar County is over. The National Weather Service should be trimming back these counties pretty soon. They're probably going to wait till the storm system moves a little bit further to the south and east before they remove a few more of these counties. I see the report of a lot of thunder and lightning right now in George West. Yeah, George West is pretty much in the thick of it. I mean, you're right on the edge of that severe thunderstorm warning, but I mean, you definitely have a lot of lightning overhead, a lot of heavy rainfall, and you probably got about another 30 minutes left of that too, 30 minutes to an hour of heavy rain and a lot of lightning. So just be ready. It will quiet down though after about an hour. So the stronger to severe storms are starting to move east of Gonzales. And anyone west of Gonzales, it's just plain old rain and a little bit of thunder. Nothing in the way of severe weather there. Philippe wants to know, are we done with cold fronts? We could still have a few more. So they're not going to be too effective because typically we don't see a big cool down behind cold fronts at this time of year. But we could have a cold front here and there. Get an idea when a lot of these severe thunderstorm warnings will cancel. So excuse the rapid map movement for a second. I'm just trying to get an idea when each one cancels. All right. So still a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain, gusty winds. That's the main thing. Not a lot in the way of hail, though. So maybe some pea-sized hail here and there. And Bill Taylor, the legend, is back.
The legend.
We're still.
What's happening, man?
We continue to trek along here. You
want a longer break now? I think we can, begin to wind things down nicely because of, the fact that this will be out of our viewing area pretty soon.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking, once this one warning in B and San Patricio County kind of wraps up, I think that this is pretty much going to be out of our region, and we're going to be able to quiet down. Now, yeah, Cuero, you're still under that severe thunderstorm warning until 2 p.m., but by about 1:15, the strongest part of the storm is going to be east of you. Mm-hmm. So,
and that's the newest warning.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was
correct.
Funny, Cuero was surrounded and now just finally went under a warning.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does appear a couple things that were happening in the city. I've really seen an increase on power outages. I went to the CPS Twitter just to see if that's been updated, but all they're talking about is the crews that have been dispatched and the recovery efforts that are going on to restore power out there. I didn't see a new number. So the highest number we saw was at 7,700 without power. But if I'd really like it since you're going to have to be back, right?
Right.
Why don't you go ahead and call it, man? I'll take it from here.
Okay. Well, guys, I am going to get off. Bill is going to continue to track these storms, though. I will be on for Ken's 5 in the morning. We've got Ken's 5 news at, man, I can't even think of what time it's at now.
I know, right? You better.
7 a.m.
7 or 8.
Yeah. Goodness. It's 8. It's at 8
a.m. It is 8.
Yeah, so I'll be on at 8 a.m., obviously after a nap.
About measuring up to a nap at this point, right?
Yeah, but Bill's going to cover
Great job. Andrew Wilson, everybody. Yeah. Andrew Wilson.
Bill's going to cover the rest from here. And, guys, I hope you have a good one and just stay safe.
Great work tonight, brother.
Sleep
Great
good
work tonight.
and the quiet thunderstorms.
So there's that power outage map, just to give you an idea that, again, it's not looking as though we have those big ovals and we have like the major widespread outages. Instead, what we're seeing is a lot of multiple is what that's called. And so not that each one of those is just one household. There's multiple within each of those ovals, and at count, it was about 7,700 outages total. So not too bad when you consider the fact that it could have been a lot worse, because I look at this lightning that came through the city, and wow, you probably had some, off and on again power situations where you were losing it for a moment and then it was firing back up. But when you consider what we're seeing now, we're really lucky that we didn't see more widespread outages. So now I want to make sure that that's the right microphone and that you're still hearing me. Let me just verify that real quick. I appreciate your patience with me here. And that is number 3. Yeah, okay, we're good. So you should be hearing me without interruption here and in just about good shape. So the newest warning, DeWitt County, and I had mentioned this earlier, I'm a little concerned with how much rain falls in this system for DeWitt because of the fact that just 48 hours ago they had 5 to 7 inches of rain. So we could see some localized flooding issues between Cuero and Karnes City as these storms really dump a lot more rain for them. And in, say 3 days, obviously upwards of about 10 inches, because this could be another inch to an inch and a quarter for sure. The warnings are well east of the city, but the rain continues in San Antonio now. In fact, it's picking up a little bit. And we talked about that wake low. So the wind speeds in Kerrville, let's see what they've got on the 1 a.m. observation here. Because I had a 43 mile per hour gust. Did you get that on the speaker? I tried to get that to you.
Yeah, I heard it.
So Kerrville, northeast at 10 right now. They don't have the gusts. So 41 at Hondo, according to the 1 a.m. observation. 24 at Junction, not too bad. Yeah, so nothing major. But boy, when you start talking wake low, you've got to watch because those winds can really pick up quick. So it could get a little still, a little breezy in San Antonio, that's for sure. Let's take a look at what we have currently. I was noticing our shot outside, and the flags were moving pretty good here at the station. So I don't see where, okay. We're going to see, some good wind speeds around San Antonio, but nothing too bad. Hey, Andrew, on your way, if you wouldn't mind letting the booth know that I'm going to take it from here and here. I was going to do a 115, 120 hit over there, but I'll just keep it here.
Yeah, I can tell them that they can just take CR31 and they can take you. But I guess then they couldn't time you unless you...
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know how long, and I think we're in paid, or no, we're not. I'm looking at it now. We're in a commercial break. So that,
I'll just let them know.
Yeah, just let them know that I'm going to continue here.
Okay.
And not to worry about on air, and I'll run a crawl shortly. I'll just run over there, or if you know what you could do is do that while you're in there. If you don't mind, just run that crawl once.
Yeah, I can do it.
Just hit it. Thank you, sir. And great job tonight. Great work. Andrew Wilson, everybody. So there you go. B and San Patricio counties until 1:15. And then when we get in here closer to Gonzales, this is going to be the one until, well, it's kind of in between. So that's the 2 a.m. warning that's affecting DeWitt and Lavaca. Let me get this back down to about an hour so you see a better loop of that. Okay. And notice how the lightning's beginning to thin out a little bit for Cuero, for Yoakum. That's a good sign for even Schulenburg. Let's see who's on with me here. Who's hanging in there? Who's hanging in there? I see Dennis. Brian Sims. Good deal. Is it over for Divine? Yes. I mean, the severe threat. But the rain's going to continue in the backside of this system. And we could even see a few showers pop up on Saturday afternoon. It's going to mainly be in the afternoon hours when we get some heating. Only regret in life from Dennis Jordan is that you didn't join San Antonians earlier, right? I could feel you there, brother. You know, even being here 24 years, I wish I'd have gotten here sooner, right? But I got here when I was supposed to, and it's been fantastic. All three of my daughters were born in San Antonio. Jackson Floyd, come on, man, awesome. I was just, could you get an update from CPS? I looked on Twitter. I didn't see any new numbers of outages, I should say. But the map is pretty impressive. I mean, there's several ovals of outages. I just can't really equate that and quantify it. Seguin over 90 across from auxiliary airfield. Continued heavy rain, no hail, steady winds, major gusts in a while, random thunder rolling. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate that update. Lost power in Belmont, no hail yet. So yeah, you know, the hail has been the factor that we were worried about, but just did not happen. You know, these are the kind of things where you have to let these things play out. You know, we can have the forecast and the model prediction, the dynamics that we put in place, just kind of checking things here, and then I'm on camera. And then you have to let it play out and see what materializes. And the hail size did not get severe. I mean, we saw hail, we have widespread areas of it, but we certainly did not see the hail size that we could have seen. That has to do with a lot of different elements, you know. How cold was the air aloft? How much of these storms broke through that cap and held together, but did not tap that coldest air, did not get tall enough to really get into the stronger, or I should say higher, hail sizes. Its diameter at best was about 1.3, and that was South Bexar County. Highest wind gust was near Cotulla at about 70, but the hail size has been half an inch in diameter up to about an inch in most cases. Jackson Floyd, thank you, sir. CPS Energy now reporting 66 outages affecting 616 customers. Not bad. Not bad, considering how electrical the storm is. And look at the amount of lightning down to the south and east. So that's going to be heading into Victoria, where there's this current warning right now, and that'll be in effect for, let's see, Victoria till 2:15. That's going to be the storm that's moving. Big clap of thunder right on top of us there. Setting off the car alarms. You hear it? So this storm, the line heading towards Victoria moving east at 35 miles an hour. So that really hasn't changed. The fastest we saw was over the hill country at about 40 to 45 miles per hour, and now slowing down. Oh, I still have some of your equipment. That's right. So let's see. Yeah, clap of thunder just set off the car alarms. I forgot to hand this to Andrew. So as you can tell, once again, lots of lightning heading towards Victoria. Warning in effect there until, oops, wrong mic, 2:15. And then I've got one more box for you, sir, as you probably already know. All right. Thank you, Aaron. Great job tonight. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Okay. So yeah, see, there's still some significant lightning in that wake low, if you will. A lot more scattered, a lot more spread out, but certainly some pretty good cloud-to-ground lightning.
Call me if you need me.
Okay. Thanks again, man. Go get some rest. Great job tonight. No power outages in Crownwood. Thanks, Dennis. Light's not even flickering. That is luck. Are we clear on the server weather for the Hollywood Park area? Absolutely. Rocks, you're in good shape. I mean, it's going to be raining, and you're still going to have some lightning, and you're going to hear that thunder. But it's certainly not a severe threat, Rocks. Certainly not a severe threat. Look at that. That's still some pretty good rain. Flash flood warning is going to be the Kendall County one until 1:45, so another 30 minutes on that warning. And let me give you some of the specifics on that guy right there. So we've got it for communities like Sisterdale, Candalia, Waring, Bergheim, Guadalupe River Park, Spring Branch, Crown, 1 to 2 inches. Well, it definitely seemed more than that. I'm going to take a look at some rain totals here in a second. But really nothing too significant as far as what that flooding might be. So that's eastern to northeastern Kendall County, outside of Comfort, outside of Bernie. It's awfully close on that warning polygon to Comfort, but really not going to be affecting Comfort. So let's zoom this out. Let's take a look-see. Go ahead and save this view and take a look. Oh, there we go again. And the car alarms are going. You heard that. I know y'all heard that one. Right on top of us. Wow. That is impressive. And all the alarms are going off in the parking lot. So let's see where we've got rain totals. There it is. We want this one. Okay. So in the last 12 hours, look at this. 3. Almost 3 near Canyon Lake again. 3 up near Fredericksburg. 2 near Hondo. 2 near Uvalde. 3 south of Uvalde. These are some big numbers down here too. Look at this. 2.5 to 3. Let's take a look in the city itself. Yeah, nothing too major. So there's some rainfall totals, and again, all falling tonight. How does that look for the drought monitor? Well, the drought monitor didn't see much of a change from one week to the next. You know, as a matter of fact, we really saw about the same picture as we did last week. I think the change is definitely the hill country, where you see that moderate drought growing a little farther north towards Kerrville, covering most of Bandera and Kendall counties now. So that's new. And I think, yeah, definitely, the extreme area around Victoria has expanded. That is a little larger than last week. So it's not too bad. I mean, we have definitely seen worse drought condition, because remember, the yellow is not drought. So you only have, you know, shades of that moderate drought and 2 pockets of severe, or I should say extreme. Not too shabby. That's okay. That comes out every Thursday. So every Thursday we get an update on the drought report and the drought monitor. All right, back to live radar. Warnings continue down to the east and southeast of the city. Let's go ahead and put about 3 hours of data up on that loop for you, and you get a better idea once that reset happens of where these warnings are. South of I-10, extending south into Victoria, and then near Corpus Christi. So that's harm's way as far as where we're getting the heaviest storms now. Still so much lightning. Very impressive on the lightning tonight. And the rain in its wake, again, you can still see a lot of scattered showers. So I was explaining the wake low, which we saw form, and you can actually see a little bit of that counterclockwise for a brief moment there. Watch right near Kerrville. See it? Vroom. That sound really helps. Vroom. And that is that little twist of high wind speeds. and an area of low pressure. Whenever you see that counterclockwise, that's why it's an area of low pressure that forms in the wake of a storm line. It's a weather phenomenon called a wake low. And what it does is it creates what's called a tight pressure gradient, which is a rapid change in air pressure. And so here's what the atmosphere does. Where there's low pressure and rising air, high pressure says you're losing air. It's leaving that area. I'm going to send air in to replenish what you're losing. So the high sends air into the low. And whenever that area is small, whenever you've got the high bucking right up against that low in a small relatively area, you get high winds. You get a tight pressure gradient in between because your air pressure is changing as those highs and lows get closer together. It's changing in such a small area that you get a very, very high wind environment. And so that's what happens. It's called a wake low because it's in the wake of the storm line. And it's very common in areas like Oklahoma, Missouri, where you get these big systems that crank on through. I can't tell you the last time we've seen one here, but it can produce winds upwards of 60, 70 miles an hour. It really can. And you don't have a severe thunderstorm in association with it at all. You have some rain, and you can see it's thunderstorm activity because it's definitely got a good deal of lightning still out there. But we're not severe. We're not reaching, we're not producing hail. We're not producing sustained 40, 50 mile an hour winds. We'll get those gusts, those bursts of wind energy of 40, 50 miles per hour. And Hondo was the highest recorded gust at 43 miles an hour with that wake low tonight. And again, the storms were long gone when it recorded that 43. It was just it's 1:20 now, so it was about an hour ago almost. So again, just taking a closer look, let me give you a look at this radar, beginning to wind things down for our coverage tonight because again, we're pushing these storms east of Gonzales, going to be moving through Cuero, where again, it's a lot of dangerous lightning until 2 a.m. DeWitt and Lavaca counties are going to be under this warning for the next 30 minutes. But the worst will be over before 2. Yeah, kind of like a down, exactly, Dennis. Just like a downburst. It can be, from top to bottom, tremendous amount of wind. Get a look at the future model and what we're expecting tomorrow. A couple of isolated showers will move through. I think most of this rain, you can see that some residual storms to the south. Let's try that word again, residual. It's been a long day. Across Atascosa County. In fact, I was sitting in this chair 12 hours ago, right? What time is it? 1:23. Exactly 12 hours ago, I was sitting right here doing this exact same thing. Cloudy with a Chance of Learning was today, or I should say, yesterday. So now pushing towards the coast on most of that rain as you get to mid-morning, right? But then watch what happens in the daytime heat. We reach what's called a convective temperature, and there we go. We start firing up some more rain. So it looks like we could keep most of it to the south. Yeah, it doesn't look like much of it makes it to San Antonio or areas north. And then on Sunday, maybe an isolated shower. Now this model does not go that far out for Sunday, but it's only a 20% chance. So I'm not expecting much, even though you don't see anything here, because again, the data doesn't go out 48 hours on this particular model. This model doesn't go that far out. Okay. So yeah, I think a 30% coverage for tomorrow afternoon, 20% isolated shower on Sunday ought to cover it, with most of this heaviest rain falling out there tonight for sure. I did, Vanessa, absolutely. There was a beautiful rainbow in Del Rio. The color was incredible. Larissa, where? I don't think so. I mean, 3 to 4 a.m. should be quiet for most of us because I don't know where you are, though. Whereabouts are you? It is going to be like that steam bath. Humid city, right? Because we're not changing air masses. This is not a cold front. We're not going to get cooler, drier air in here. Drier, yes, I should say, but not significantly drier, like behind a cold front drier. It's going to be relatively, speaking, I think it would probably be about a 5 to 8 degree drop in dew point. Not significant, but enough to feel better. Let's put it that way. But we could, because of the amount of rain that we're looking at, that we saw across the area, could see some fog the next couple of mornings. That's certainly possible. North Central. Oh, okay. No, we're not expecting anything. 3 to 4 a.m. we should be dry. We could see some more down to the south as we work our way into sunrise hours, even mid-morning on Saturday. But it does appear that San Antonio, only a 20 or 30% chance of anything beyond this. But it's still, like I say, 1:30 now. I still think we still have this rain for another 20, 30 minutes in the city. Hope that helped you. San Marcos. Hi, Nina. Definitely under the rain for another couple of hours, but the severe threat has ended in San Marcos, that's for sure. But that doesn't mean you're not going to have lightning. I do want to make sure you're aware that, lightning is a killer. Lightning is something that's very dangerous, and we're still expecting quite a bit of it. You can see that even well beyond the line, miles back, we're still getting some good lightning up near Kerrville, Blanco, Bernie, and North San Antonio. There's still a good amount of lightning. And then look, even back towards Hondo, you see those strikes? Let me get in here tight, and you'll see what I'm talking about, right in here. It's not even raining, okay? And look at how far removed these lightning bolts are occurring. Look at that one down to the south on that Highway 57 line. Look at how many miles it is away from the actual activity. So let's stop that and give you an exact. So here's the storm at Pleasanton, 50 miles away. It's not even raining, and you're getting a bolt of lightning. Isn't that crazy? That's when you know how dangerous lightning can be. It does not even have to be in the thunderstorm. It doesn't even have to be raining. And look at that. 50 miles away, and we get a lightning strike. When thunder roars, go indoors. And when lightning roars, go indoors. You can say that because, look, you can't have thunder without lightning, right? So lightning indirectly roars. I'm really getting, it's a bit of a stretch, right? San Antonio fog rules, especially with the city lights. You're welcome, Larissa. My pleasure. We had lightning an hour after the storm passed. One hit outside really loud. Yeah, Vanessa, we just had two. And, I mean, it's maybe some light rains falling here at the station. We're on the northwest side of San Antonio. And the alarms went off. I mean, I don't know if you were watching or hearing of that. But, yeah, we're pretty far removed from the heavy rain or thunderstorms now. Crazy, crazy. You see that warning extended all the way to Wharton, so pretty far east now, that warning along that line, anticipating to hold together, to still produce some damaging winds and some hail. So now the warning has ended. It's 1:30 for Gonzales. We still have that warning till 2 down at Cuero, but that's going to be ending on schedule, because you can see that things are rapidly improving there. So that's good news, and I think that's going to mean that it's time to kind of wrap things up from here in the KENS 5 Digital Center. thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Still got a decent little audience hanging in. Still getting terrible lightning in southeast Atascosa. Yeah, it's very dangerous, I'm telling you. When it's that many miles away, that's always why lightning is still always a very significant threat when it comes to weather. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for choosing Ken's 5, and we will see you. Improving weather from here forward, you know. It's going to be a decent weekend. We'll salvage Saturday afternoon. I think we'll get a little bit of sun, maybe even a lot of sun, but definitely by midday, the sun's going to be out today. So enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. We can't hug anybody yet, so practice your safe distancing. Be smart out there. Sunday's going to be a little bit better, isolated shower, but you can probably wash the cars by tomorrow afternoon. All right? Have a great weekend. Stay safe. God bless you. Take care, everybody. You know we love you here at Ken's 5, and we mean it. Take care, guys.